Let's do it.
We're live,
Hype.
guys.
It's just that easy. Just press
Yeah,
start.
Hype.
just press
Wait,
start stream.
hype.
And that, but don't worry. I'm not gonna pick up the phone and just be on a phone call for 40 minutes, like someone else.
Wait, did that happen?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
For me today, I was gonna stream me making the level 80 boost video, and then my mom called for like almost 40 minutes, and then as I was ending the stream, then my wife called, and it's like, well, today's just a call day. Everybody's calling me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
I can't be on the phone for more than, I don't know.
Yeah, because you don't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so lonely.
Wow. This
is why I love being here. I don't feel as lonely.
It's the human contact he needs to stay sane.
The human virtual wait, what?
Yeah, the human virtual contact.
That's right.
Yeah, I think a good place to start this off with is the game is fixed. So Brazil, rip it to shreds. There we go. Thank you.
Provisioner tokens are a disaster.
How so?
You need 300 of them.
Yeah, I heard that was confirmed.
300.
I already have 300. I'm not complaining.
Oh,
And
I haven't done any. I need to
That's,
take notes.
300 is cool, except each one costs around 50 silver. You can only get 12 a day if you're lucky, if the events are completed and the NPC spawn. So at best, you're looking at 25 days of running around trying to find NPCs, and then they're there, and then you spend 50 silver with a specific weapon, and then, whatever. But at worst, you won't get any. I would think the median would be you get like a couple of them, because who knows who does events, and good luck getting into a map with the events that are done. So, I don't
Do
know.
they still require the events to be done? I'm pretty sure they changed it. They
some
made
of them,
more
I think some of them do, and some of them don't.
Yeah, okay.
That seems like a chore.
The
all on
wiki
its own.
still says that they all require the event, so I don't know which ones do and which ones don't.
I haven't done any yet, so I guess I better get off my ass and start doing provisioner tokens every day, all day. It sounds like.
Yeah.
I sort of started just as soon as they came out. We sort of got into our heads that, well, if there's one, if there's 6 pieces of the legendary, you probably need one of those gifts for every piece. And so I just aimed for 300 from the very start.
Mm.
So how to make that gift? Do we know how many insights that is?
No, that's just
No,
piece
That's
of
separate. Is that separate? Okay.
it. It's a
It's
gift of
different things,
craftsmanship, and that costs 50 tokens.
Yep.
And then the gift of what the fuck?
The gift of
Now
what
someone's
the fuck?
calling me.
Oh my goodness! It's the same person.
It's me.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the wrong time to tell you that now that Brazil is off, it's good. He's not going to hear it. But I actually put in a bug report before the patch because one of the provisioners was completely broken. You could buy infinite numbers.
Wow, that's actually pretty
Yeah.
funny.
It was horrible.
Can't believe it. How
But
long
it's
How long did you exploit it before you reported it, Deroir?
I bought one. I got one of the tokens, and then I accidentally pressed and wanted to check if I could get another one, and I could. And I was like, all right, well, fuck. And I filed in a bug report. It was the one at Lagan's Waypoint or whatever. That dude was just completely bugged.
What a player.
Yeah.
It seems a bit odd that you're going to need a gift for each armor piece, doesn't it?
How it's phrased actually sounds like you're gonna have to upgrade each individual piece.
Yeah, in the forge.
Like that's how I got it. Either it's going to be like you have one one upgrade in armor smithing or whatever that just requires all 6 of them, or you're gonna have to throw each piece of armor into the forge or whatever and upgrade it that way. I don't know. It just sounded like it was individual upgrades, which was a little weird.
Yeah, that does seem weird. And you know what else is kind of interesting that I started to think about was ArenaNet had said before Heart of Thorns launched that the legendary armor would be the equivalent of making a legendary weapon.
Yeah,
Price-wise. So does that mean an old legendary weapon, which are much cheaper to make than the new ones, or does that mean equal to a new legendary weapon, which is a couple thousand gold?
I mean, in a way, these provisioner tokens and the associated gift sort of acts as the same constant gold sink as the what are those things called that you buy from the vendor after the
Icy
club dormant?
runestones.
Yeah, icy runestones. It's basically the same. That's how
just a lot more complicated and making you run around the world to actually do it.
Yep.
Yes.
Instead of one event, you have a million.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Feel epic, man. It's got to feel epic.
I know, right?
I've started to make Astralaria, and I can already tell you it does not feel epic at all.
Is it pain and suffering?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Is it gonna?
Yeah.
What?
I'm like halfway through step 2, and I already want to just quit and never do it again.
Really?
Yeah. Terrible.
Huh.
Terrible.
You should try and make.
I hear the short bow is amazing. The
Jumbo
Schlong bow.
Yeah.
I hear the Schlong bow is amazing, but I don't know. Astralaria so far, anyway. Obviously, I'm only on the crafting phase of it right now, but a lot less fun. A lot of waiting around to craft crap basically every day.
Then the payoff.
I don't know.
The payoff. It'll be worth
The most
it.
important thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be.
I'm wondering though, like, do you think the time gated on those materials is still needed? I mean, is it really that important to have that time gated?
For what materials?
Well, crafting like Deldrimor ingots, for example, the mithril, whatever it's called. Those things that are gated by 24 hours. You can only make one every 24 hours. I think it's really needed anymore.
You can choose to just buy it for more.
Define needed, I guess, because in a way, if they just remove the time restraint, you would just completely skewer the market in a single night. I don't know. It would completely make them invaluable. Or wait,
they'd be reduced
valuable.
down. They'd be reduced down to what basically everything else in Guild Wars 2 is basically exactly the same value as their components, more or less. And yeah, there's you can make profit on by crafting various things, but I mean, you can make decent, a good amount of money by crafting the Ascendants because there's the time gate and so on, and that goes into it.
I don't know. I guess it's just a bit frustrating when I need, let's say, for the device, I needed, I think, 15 ingots. So that's 15 days of waiting, unless I want to bypass it and buy from the trading post, which I really don't want to do. So now I'm waiting 15 days for that. So I finally make that, and then I'm waiting another 5 days for another part, and then I get to the next part. It's another 5 days, and I'm 20 days in, and I'm not even halfway through the second collection already. So after a month of crafting Deldrimor Steel ingots, maybe I'll be close to the end there. It's just frustrating. You kind of lose interest in whatever story or lore aspects were wrapped up in it, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a lot easier if you can just blast through it. I have to agree on that one. Like I haven't experienced that gate yet because I've just had a lot of the materials lying around. So I've kind of surpassed that, but I can see how it could be really bothersome.
Yeah, for sure. And you can simply just buy a new account, do the raid, get those chests, get their ascended materials. Boom, easy exploits.
Yeah,
perfect.
And the fractal rewards now give ascended materials as well.
There you go.
If you're lucky. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, just do it. Just do a tier 4. It's good. It's good.
I did. Well, actually, I didn't get my fractals done today. So let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, however many days that is. I've done tier 4s every day. I've seen one Alonian leather in all of those drops.
Wow.
However, I have to say that I make about 11 gold a day from doing tier 4s, just the fractals.
And it's quite fast.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's fast.
Like,
yeah, it doesn't really take that long. I do it with pug groups. It takes me like a little over an hour.
Fair enough.
Hour and 20 minutes or something like that. So it's not too bad.
Not too bad at all. I kind of like what they did. Yeah, I really like what they did with the fractals, actually. The fractal dailies, especially, So you can't just exploit Swamp over and over again. Which is good.
Yeah. This is exactly how it needed to be from the very start. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I really love it.
Yeah, no, what we need is for the disconnect bug to come back. That'll be
What?
it.
But that still happens, kind of.
No, you disconnect and then you can't get back into the instance.
Oh no, not that.
We
not
need that. Bring it back. I'm gonna make a Reddit thread for ArenaNet to bring that back. That just adds even more challenge.
Yeah, it would make it more difficult.
It's preparing people for raids because when the raid boss starts, you can't go in.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. It's like that bug that you guys had, Deroir, that you'd fight the boss and then one person would just disconnect, and then another person would disconnect.
Just.
Is this part of the instance? You know, it's a boss that breaks the rules of the game. You know, it'd be pretty dank.
Oh, speaking of the fractal thing, they fixed the whole hammer part of it. No, they didn't.
The cliffside.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you all
bugged it
pick
once
up
as
the
well.
hammer at the same time, it disappears.
It disappeared.
Not just that, but I'm talking about the legendary collection
that's
afterwards.
hilarious.
Take the hammer to the fire elemental and
Oh,
still not fixed.
I mean, no one does that, so okay.
wait, was it not? Was it broken?
It was bugged. Yeah,
How so?
still bugged. You can basically skip that whole part and just.
Oh, that part. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
exploit. Yeah. I know
They said
about
they
that.
fixed it, but they didn't fix it. I did it last night. Still works.
Yeah, it's been in the game for years now.
Yep, reported it again. So who
Basically,
knows?
what's happening here is that Inks has just confessed that he exploits.
Yep, I'm an exploiter.
He's an exploiter.
29 hammers in 30 seconds.
That's pretty good. But yeah, you in Brazil, Inks, you both did the
We
cliffside fractal. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah? What's it
Brazil
like?
had a good time. I wasn't sure who I was playing with.
Wait, he
I
enjoyed
was,
fractals?
scared.
Yeah, I had
Are
a
you
good
sure?
time because
You
I
actually
only did it
enjoyed
once.
fractals?
If I had to do it every day, or if I did do it every day, I'd hate it. So, I mean, I don't. Fractals aren't really fun to me. They kind of killed them for me over a long period of time, several times. So I don't enjoy fractals anymore. It's like I don't enjoy watching the Dallas Cowboys because they've just been ruined over and over and over. And Jerry Jones is an idiot, so whatever.
A reference makes
Well, yeah, that's because you're not an American.
exactly.
But I don't really have interest in fractals. Like I made a whole other set of Ascended Armor the other day, a third light set. I just bought it with raid tokens. Like I don't need to do fractals. So I don't do fractals, and I don't have fun doing fractals, so I just don't do them. It was cool to see the change. It's nice to see what they did. I think it was a huge improvement. I don't really like fractals. So, I mean, even dungeons, going back through dungeons, just like, what is this? No, stop.
It's funny. I haven't done dungeons in so long. I really don't remember the past very well.
It's really obvious that people have not done dungeons in a long time. So, like, I've been going through a raw, and it's just like people still remember how to wall Lupicus. So, I mean, but that's about it.
I did a raw path 3 yesterday, and I don't remember anything. And it was clear that the other people that I pugged with, they didn't know what the hell they were doing either.
Condi builds are horrible
entertaining.
in dungeons. Like they're just there's no point to play a Condi build in a dungeon at all. They're so bad because everything just dies incredibly fast. Yeah. So like I was playing Necromancer and it's just like, all right, I'll switch to power. So I would go in and do some dungeons. I needed to get some TA tokens for runes and God, that's a whole other thing. But I went in and did them, and I just switched to power build and ran through it with power, then switched back to Condi and raided and tested stuff, and then needed to do something else and switch back. It's just, that was annoying. And it also makes me wonder, why aren't there build templates? When can we have those?
But we can maybe. You'll get to vote on that soon for World vs. World or structured PvP.
Wait, vote? Are they going to vote for it?
Yeah, so what they said was on Guild, I think it was Guild Chat on Friday, they had either that or on Reddit, I can't remember where, but at some place they had said that for the next feature, I guess they'll have a couple of features that they want to work on, and they'll put it to the community's vote as to how they're to proceed going forward. And build templates is on that list, supposedly.
Oh, shit.
So either for World vs. World or SPVP. My only fear is that if they bring the build templates in, I hope this means that it's for everything and not just SPVP World vs. World, because you're voting on it for the World vs. World team to develop that feature, basically. I just hope that means it's game wide, right? It would be silly if it wasn't, I suppose, but
very unusual.
I don't see how it would be. Yeah.
Right.
Wait. What?
No.
But they did mention it. They did say that I think it was Tyler Bierce who had said that they want to be more stewards for the game modes now. For SPVP, for World vs. World, they want to maintain and update those formats of the game, rather than obviously the years of where that hasn't happened, especially for World vs. World. So templates is one of those things on the list. Obviously, they're already working on the Alpine Borderlands. The female dev who's working on that said she's has made some pretty good progress. So we should see soon, I guess, about the Alpine. And then once that's released, they're going to be having some tests or something running that the community will be able to take part in and vote on what they actually want to see next. What's most important to them, I guess.
Yeah.
I've actually, speaking of the Alpine Borderlands, I've been playing some World vs. World lately, and I find it more and more sad that the Alpine Borderlands are coming back. Like, I really don't want that to happen.
I don't even play World versus World, and I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was sad beforehand, but now that I've played it,
people are
I'm
getting
just enjoying it.
excited that they're bringing back old content and replacing the new content that they paid for. That's really bizarre to me.
Well, they
I
don't
really-
like.
I don't know.
I don't know about like the way that the changes have gone in now, but they didn't like the desert for a long period. Most people will tell you it's too big. Maybe not so much now, but it had way too many barriers. It was just difficult to move around in to get to the fights. It had a large PvE element in the center that players didn't really like. Those are just some of the complaints. Firekeep had a whole bunch of issues with it as well, I think.
I haven't touched the complete inner circle at all. I've just been running around the edges, but I mean, I don't see how it's that difficult. I see that they're like it's designed to cut off areas and sort of work in favor of the team that holds whatever keep. But I think that's sort of the flavor of it. Like, you just need to know your way around it and follow the routes. I mean, it's not that bad.
I mean,
The Alpine Borderlands is gray and
I've
bad.
been informed that I don't play World versus World, okay? I don't really understand that point, because you look at people not liking the new Borderlands for whatever reason, and that makes me think, did they not have people test the content well enough? Did the people they brought in to test the content just make a big popularity contest out of it on their streams? Which
Right.
I'm pretty sure that is exactly what happened. I don't know how much testing actually got done. And the people, like, serious World versus Worlders, I don't know if they had any input on it. And I'm not totally convinced that ArenaNet even understands what people that play World versus World want. This is all stuff that I don't have to play World versus World in order to think about or, talk about. So I don't know how that's particularly relevant. Also, again, the new Borderlands, where they made a big deal about that for the expansion, and people bought the expansion, and it didn't go over too well. So now they're reverting to the old Borderlands, and people are happy about that because apparently the new ones were so bad. I mean, that they want the old stuff back that they paid for 3 years ago. I don't know. That's just, I don't think any of that requires me to play World versus World. Another thing, like, I also wonder why they don't put in, like, gliding or stuff, because we've talked about that before. Like, you could glide in World versus World, and then suddenly fall damage traits actually become relevant, and you could do weird gimmicky builds. I don't
One
know.
of the reasons that gliding, they talked about gliding a little bit. One of the reasons that they didn't want to put gliding in is you could simply glide right into some of the keeps.
Yeah, exactly. That's
But
definitely
there's
a
ways
problem.
around that. I mean,
Yeah.
you could make once you hit the wall, it becomes a no-fly zone, and you just instantly fall to your
Or
death.
just have legendary archers that just shoot you if you're in the air.
You can have. There's a whole
do
bunch
that
of
as well.
solutions. You could have a giant force field projected around the keep or something, or a tower. I don't think it would be difficult to get around that. I think maybe it would be quite frustrating because it depends how effective the kind of drop on people strategy would become, right? If you just have 50 people and you all drop on someone at once, they will just die instantly.
Sure, I mean it's a mechanic. It would have to be balanced. They would have to decide. I mean, I guess they decided that it wasn't worth the effort because they didn't put it in. So I don't know, but it would be something like if you said you could fly in World versus World, that would at least grab people's attention. They said there's the Golem Rush event, and it grabbed people's attention, but everyone hated it.
They hated it. I loved it. They hated it. I don't care.
If people are gonna test the content, if ArenaNet's gonna, this is brought up in chat again, if they're gonna have people test the content and people are going to give feedback and they're not going to listen to it because it's too far into development or whatever, that's a problem. If they're gonna have the wrong people test content that don't give correct feedback or good feedback or relevant feedback, that's a problem. Like, all of these are problems that just like happened. They happened. So that's why it's been a disaster. Again, I don't have to play World versus World to understand any of that. So
No, you don't. However, you will get lots of comments from people who play World vs. World to tell you have no right to talk about it.
yeah, and those people
it's
can
funny.
fuck right off. So I don't care.
I get those comments a lot. Anytime I mention it, it's like, you're not a real World vs. World player. That's okay. I don't need to be. I play occasionally. But yeah, you're right. You don't need to be a hardcore World vs. World player to understand the problems that exist with that game mode.
Yep.
I mean, I ever since the new reward system came out, I've been in World vs. World. I've sort of seen what's happening, and it's only ever since Friday that something actually actively happened with people actually joining in. But that's already died down as well, and that's gonna die down like very quickly. The whole system, but. The thing I hear most that people just want is bigger fields to World versus World, their fucking battles, their little player versus player things.
Zerg.
Yeah, guild versus guild, whatever thing. But that's not what World versus World is all about. That there's so much more to the concept, and you have the Obsidian Sanctum if you just want to do the GVG thing. Like, I realize that people want everything in that one map, but why can't we just have flavored maps for, I don't know, other things than that?
Because some people don't like the flavor. They want a chocolate ice cream, but some other people want vanilla. It's just you're not gonna be able to please anyone, it's impossible. It's literally impossible. But I think a really good point is that. Why did they invite fucking plebs like me into the World versus World test? I don't know shit. I don't know shit. I was wandering around doing nothing, just following people. I mean, they should take maybe.
Was that actually the test? I mean, I was there as well. Like, it wasn't really. We just sort of, I don't know, strolled about.
But I don't know. It was a test, or they were trying to drum up some publicity as well. I don't know. It really does depend. But maybe they should take a similar approach to raiding, right? Where they just find the big ass guilds. They all lump them all on one server and try and make them.
And
fight
then
each other.
half of them get kicked out.
Why? Nice meme. Yeah. Let's see. Was there like 20 people? No, there was actually a decent amount of people in it. There was
a lot. Not only that, but both Shin and Rihanna both had like little smaller groups, but they both had groups to get in and play. They had some kind of promotional thing at ArenaNet where they fought against each other or something, I think. At least I think that was the two streamers. I think it was Shin and Rihanna. Fought against each other.
Did Game do it too?
Yeah. He was in there.
Doc had a group of people in as well,
Big Zerg following him around. Personal army.
So there were some World vs. World players and stuff in there, but there was quite a few problems with that test, and I agree that the way that they're going to do it in the future is have it more linked to some sort of open beta test. This will allow the more hardcore World vs. World players and those guilds to really get in, test those features, and give real proper feedback so that it is more to what they want, more to their liking. I don't really have a problem with Alpine coming back necessarily, and it is supposed to eventually get put into some sort of rotation, but I think it's going to be a while before we see any sort of rotation. You're going to have Alpine probably for a while before you see Desert come back now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always been the plan to put it on rotation and presumably add more maps, more themed maps to that. But it kind of depends how much people hate them, I guess. how much complaint they have. But maybe the Desert Borderlands is the first try, and they'll refine that, but they will use the experiences they have to make a better received. Because I don't know. I don't see any inherent problems with Desert, but then again, I don't really know the intricacies of World vs. World, so I'm not particularly, in a position to comment on, why this is terrible, why this sucks. But this patch could be a good precedent for that, because a lot of the stuff in this patch is them actually just kind of fixing things people have been complaining about since HOT launch, right? So maybe this is the point where they're going to go, all right. We're going to sort this shit out. We're going to fix the things people don't like. Because just look at this patch. Just look at this patch. Everything's fixed.
What they did, definitely. What they did add, just on the topic of World vs. World, with the reward system and stuff, is actually good. It's completely flawed, but it's a lot better than what was there. It's extremely easy to game, but it's still better than what was there. And I don't know, have you guys tried being in World vs. World ever since the update?
Yep.
Seeing the reward tracks and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. What got me into World vs. World was the armors. Like, I have a thing for armors, as many people do, and so obviously I wanted to see how the reward systems work. But the problem is, like, the giant glaring problem with the reward track is that it creates a baseline. But the maximum reward that you can ever get is the baseline, and the baseline requires zero effort, absolutely zero effort. You can literally, like I demonstrated like a few months ago and posted on Reddit, where you could game all the 3 Heart of Thorn maps by simply logging into the right events and doing events and keeping your participation up. You can do the exact same thing with the World vs. World thing. They don't consider that the path of least resistance is the one that people are going to take, because
you're
it's super
absolutely
easy.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
And
have a very strong idealistic view of everything that they do,
Yeah.
and that doesn't work.
They sort of addressed. I haven't, so I can't really speak 100% on this. But they sort of theoretically addressed a lot of the problems that were inherent with the reward tracks in the hot maps with this update by incentivizing more gameplay as being the better reward. Like, you get keys and crystals or whatever from doing events. That same thing just does not exist in World vs. World. And so you can literally, again, get maximum reward from standing still in your keep. And that is the glaring problem. They don't incentivize you to actually do better. You just have to do the minimum requirement. And that is a horrible system. It's a good concept, and they can definitely make it better. They can make it perfect. And I actually have some ideas. I've been thinking about this because I've just been sat in my keep getting those sweet rewards ticking in. So I've sort of thought about, like, how could they actually incentivize me to go and do whatever. And a way... The funny thing about World vs. World is that they now have 2 reward systems. One is completely, I don't know, non-existent. It's just the World XP. Nobody really minds it. It just happens, and it's a long track for little reward anyways, and it's non-consistent in any ways. And now they have this secondary system which creates this baseline. But they need to include the 2 into each other for it to actually make sense in any way. If you could boost the reward track in any way, if you could get potions, like World vs. World reward track potions from getting level ups, World vs. World level ups, I would be actually doing events then, instead of just sitting in my keep. Because you have to create an actual incentive for people to do better, to actually participate in the event, like they did with a lot of the things in Heart of Thorns maps now, which on paper seems genius, but I haven't been there since, well, I have my Ex Machina title, and I have absolutely no incentive to go there anyways.
What's that?
Ex Machina, that's getting everything.
Yeah, everything
Oh.
from the HOT
Pod
maps. Yeah.
It's a title for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
How
I'm
much?
Dungeon Master, so I don't give a fuck.
A deep dark dungeon master. How many tokens do you need for that? Map currencies do you need for that title?
Like 20-ish thousand.
Oh my god.
However,
Yes.
so those maps are a lot better. I didn't actually want to move off the world versus world topic just yet, but like Verdant Brink, a full
Yeah,
cycle.
I want to get away from 20,000 tokens on each map. Please go back.
Verdant Brink, each cycle nets more than 1,000 airship parts now. More than 1,000, 1,400 in a cycle, easy. And Arctic Basin is 500 or so. It's about half or so of what Verdant Brink for some reason gives you way more than the other maps. So it's a little bit better in that regard in getting tokens, completing that kind of crap. But yeah, it's a lot for Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
I think obviously you do want to create that kind of incentive-based objectives as well. But I think what they are concerned about, and possibly why it's not the case, is because they want it to be, and this is such a big difficulty I think with World vs. World. They want it to be competitive, right? And if they add rewards such that just running around doing events is the best way to do things, then
No, but see, here's the thing. It's actually, sorry to cut you off, but one of the best ways to get reward participation is by killing players. Sorry.
that is true.
And so if you just kill an entire Cirque, well, you're basically halfway through the reward.
Yeah, but you can't do that
Participation.
anymore since they fixed Spectral Wall.
All right. Touche.
See, you don't play
Not on
World
your
versus
own.
World. You don't know how it works,
You
Deroir.
just need
don't
more
Yeah.
talk about
necros.
it.
You just need
You're
more.
right.
You just need more necros.
Actually, it's
Simple.
funny because just because we hear that all the time, like you don't play World vs. World, you can't talk about it. What is the qualification for players? It's some arbitrary number, I realize. What's the qualification to be considered a World vs. World player? How many hours a day do you need
You
to spend?
see,
in World?
there's this thing called the no true Scotsman fallacy, and it applies to a whole lot of stuff.
No true World
And I won't
versus
even
World,
get into
though.
99% of it here, because that'll just trigger everybody.
Do it.
Just
Trigger
go
everybody,
Wikipedia
Brazil.
it.
Trigger
You're good at
everybody.
triggering everybody
Yeah,
anyway.
I
Yeah,
know.
you're gonna do
Do
it
it.
anyway. You might as well.
Do it. Just
All right.
do it.
Okay, there is someone in the Twitch chat who plays the
Uh-oh.
World versus World. Okay, and it's Plenix. I know this for a fact. What? Okay, we'll ask him. Okay, we'll have to wait a bit, so we'll do some filler. But Plenix, okay, at what point do you consider a person a player of the World versus World? There we go. No true Scotsman
question has
argument
been
is
asked.
fucking stupid. I mean,
15 hours of World vs. World gameplay a week? Okay, I'm a World vs. World player. I put in 20 plus hours this week in World vs.
Fucking
World.
nailed
I
it.
play less than 15 hours a year.
So now I'm a World vs. World player, right? See, I don't think that's a good indicator of who's a true World vs. World player and who isn't. Deroir spent all day, every day in World vs. World this week. Not all
Yeah.
day, but
I didn't play
every time
it,
I
but
logged on, he
spent-
was in World vs. World.
Yep.
25 hours a day.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's pretty hardcore.
Gotta
They
get
can-
those armors.
A player that can actually get past the queue and not AFK at spawn all the
15
time.
hours per day.
All right, so it's a pretty low bar to be a World versus World player.
Most
Well,
players
yeah,
are
According to
I mean,
Glenn,
15
that's-
hours per day.
well,
Trolling me.
More strategy games things needed. I think that's kind of one of the best parts about World versus World, actually, the way it plays out with or the espionage and stuff. Although people don't really like it, actually, as I understand it.
Do World vs. World players want more strategy gameplay things? I don't know that they do.
But it's cool,
I guess,
though.
I guess it depends
very
whose
hard to
opinion
tell.
you listen to. But some of them just complain they want open fields to fight each other in.
Well, the big battles
Yeah, that's
are pretty
all I hear.
cool. The big epic fights are pretty epic.
Absolutely.
it's this is all interesting stuff that you would really need to have access to data for, but like do the majority of people that play World versus World just go in and like run around and follow commander tags and whatever? And like the people that just throw shit around and yell, like the Redditors, which like how many of those are there? How many of the other people? How many people just don't care and log in to do World versus World like once a week on a Friday and then just log off? And what do they do when they're on? And what would their preference be? Like it's I don't know. Like it's hard to tell if the only people that like throw a fit and get offended are the people on Reddit, which I would honestly be pretty inclined to believe that, considering how ridiculous Reddit is. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really know.
In all cases, a lot of the time there is a silent majority that kind of just gets on with it.
Sure, you're absolutely right.
I mean, with pretty much every topic within the game, some people, some people just get on with it. Other people like us, we complain about it in a public setup, and then other people just kind of shout as loud as they can in other places. It's.
I mean, Halky, you're saying that we're shit talking World versus World. It's not totally true. Trying to get a gauge of what we have to do to be allowed
chat, so just ignore him.
To be allowed to talk about World versus World, because I get told all the time I'm not allowed to talk about it, even though I mean, as of recently, I spend a considerable amount of time in there.
Well, I mean, just to kind of add on to that, are we really shit talking World versus World?
No,
we're critiquing it.
Is this just a troll? I'm not even sure anymore.
Maybe.
You should have at least 40k World versus World.
You sound like somebody that likes to get dominated in the ass. So
wow. I mean, 40,000 World versus World kills it's a I know
lot.
We keep talking about this. No, it's ridiculous. It's silly. You sit in a Zerg and you get those kills. Whatever.
I have a guildmate who's very horny for AP, and he set up like back in the days. He was the guy who set up the guild. I don't know if you actually remember the guild that just farmed players in the Obsidian Sanctum. He set that up and just to get the Ultimate Dominator title, and of course he has that, and everyone in that guild has that, and
nice.
Yeah.
There
So
you
much
go.
For those kills. I mean,
yeah, the World versus World players.
So, I mean, it's easy to sort of neglect the kills and all the effort that's put in, like because someone else is just going to do it more effectively.
If there is some achievement or some title or literally anything that people want, there are going to be people that figure out how to just do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like. It doesn't matter what it is. They're like Ultimate Dominator or whatever. It has prestige.
Now,
people are going to buy Eternal. People are going to Zerg for Ultimate Dominator 24 hour. People, like, if people had bought it if they could, I'm sure. Like, it just, I don't know.
Do you think that people will sell scout spots and then you can just go AFK?
Maybe.
Because you get credit for being a
people
scout.
will pay for stuff, so I don't know.
You still have to mind the AFK timer though, which is 15 minutes exactly.
You alt tab in every 15 minutes and just move.
Yep, exactly. I mean, right now I'm this close to having another armor piece. Just saying, I'm just alt tapping real quick.
Yeah. So Dude Low makes a good point. He asks me what the secret cata spots in desert for each keep. Okay, I think that's a valid question. It shows knowledge of the map and where you need to place catas.
Sure.
However, the opposite of that is, do you think that roamers know those spots? Because I would bet you most of them don't. And most of the people who just follow the Zerg but still spend significant hours in World vs. World, I would bet you they don't either. And I can say this for certain because I've been in plenty of World vs. World guilds where players like myself are not allowed to do or given those responsibilities at any given time. So I guess it depends on what kind of World guild you're in.
I wouldn't expect typical dungeon runners to like fucking know all of the speedrun strats or realistically even how to play their class optimally, optimize for doing damage. Like,
it's just a weird. That's what I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to get across is there's weird justifications that people make to call yourself a true World vs. World player. Knowing the spots of those trebs, I think that's a pretty good question. I think that's for people who are involved in that. So that's a pretty good one, dude. But some of the others needing X number of kills and spending 15 hours a week. I mean, I don't know. When I played with K&T solidly, they had like 3 or 4 mandatory World vs. World raid days, even though you run around and don't engage people half the time.
Having an arbitrary benchmark, just, it doesn't matter, because there are people, like, I have literally interacted with people in zones who are like halfway to level 80 who didn't know how to salvage stuff or clear out their inventory and were just running around with like broken armor pieces. Like, it's just like, what? Like, people like that are probably going into World versus World, and maybe they play World versus World for like hours a week. They just have no clue how anything works, and they just run around and, like, I don't know. Would someone who spends all of their time in World versus World gathering nodes, like, they're doing shit in World versus World, but they're not really doing or learning or participating in any meaningful way? I don't know. I don't know. Like, the qualifications that you have to make to demonstrate that you have more knowledge and that you're the only relevant opinion, I think, is a little stupid. Because, again, like, I guess I rate at a pretty high level, and I guess to some degree Teapot and Deroir do. Inks doesn't because he sucks. But, like, I'm not saying, like, my opinion on raids is the only one that matters, because I have Eternal and because I did an 8-man no updraft Gorsefall with a group before anyone else did. Like, I don't know. I think that's dumb. So
I only play with top clowns, so
yep, the highest
it takes us a while.
Oh, look, look at this shit here. Okay, we got should have made equal fight 15 PvE raiders versus 15 World versus World GVG people. Ellie giggle. And you know what? I don't know, but I think there are actually some PvE players who I would bet pretty heavily, honestly. Some of these guys are fucking crazy, alright? They're actually gods at this game. So I'm not sure I'd be so confident about your World versus World skills. I mean, there is a certain level of transference from game modes, you know? I mean, just because you only play PvE... So for example, PvP, alright? If you play PvP, and then you go and try raiding, you're gonna be alright, because you already know how to avoid shit. You know your profession really well. So, you know, you're not gonna go, oh god, I don't know how to play PvE, what is this shit? In the same way that when you go from PvE to PvP, I think it doesn't transfer quite as well, actually, but I think there is a level of transference there where you know your profession well, and you'll, you know, figure out how to play PvP, you know, quicker than if you were starting from scratch, right? You know,
sure. I don't even think that's necessarily related to game mode or game mode preference. I think that's just related to, like, understanding what your class does. Like, if you don't know what throw bolas is, or that kick is a CC with a really low cooldown, or like what the active on Signet of Fury is, like, if you don't know, like, just random shit, like, if all you know is 100 blades does a lot of damage and whirlwind makes you go in a direction, like, you're fucked no matter what you do. Like, if all you know is that Guardian can run around following a commander tag and just staff auto attack, or just staff auto attack mobs in the open world, then, like, you don't know what you're going to do and you're not going to be good at anything. Like, it's knowledge of mechanics.
Yeah, obviously, you know, the groups and guilds that excel at it obviously know a lot more about their group's composition and which skills they want to use. It is certainly more involved in that. And the commanders are calling for specific skills to use at specific times for reasons to counteract whatever the other group is doing. So, you know, there is a little bit of strategy there and stuff. And that is fun. It really is. That's what I enjoy about World vs. World. But then there's the roaming aspect, too. And I think that's part of the problem with some of the feedback ArenaNet gets, is you're getting feedback from a couple different groups of World vs. World players who may not all want exactly the same thing. Certainly ArenaNet has had problems in the past of delivering really anything any of them want, and that's kind of one of the bigger issue. But I think the April 19th patch is a very small stepping stone into you know, larger fixes that are coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, instead of continuing to go this way, it started to go this way.
Right,
so.
yeah.
I'm not sure it's such a small stepping stone, though. I think it sets a really good precedent, actually. It may not be this super uber content patch, but I think the if you look at the thought processes and the decisions that ArenaNet have made when they implemented this patch, I think it shows that, you know, it's going to be really good. I'm actually very positive after this patch. When, you know, when I first saw these notes, the joy was written all over me. I said, "Oh my god, is this a prank? Are they pranking me right now?" But no, it's real. It was real, and yeah,
definitely
good job,
ArenaNet. I've definitely been having
Absolutely
fun
love it.
again. I love that there's more players in it. You know, I know Deroir was saying it's dying out a little bit. Unfortunately, I think that's kind of normal as the week goes on. Come Friday reset, you won't be able to get back in again, and I'll see the complaints pop up all over the place that, oh my god, 150-man queue, I can't get in, fuck ArenaNet, this is the worst thing ever.
But we want it to be there, though.
Which is funny, right? It's funny. First, there's nobody playing World vs. World, so you complain. Now everybody wants to play, and you complain because you can't get in.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's you know, it's frustrating. I totally get it, right? And unfortunately, like some of the servers who were matched with tier 1 servers on North America anyway, I don't know about Europe, they're very upset because it used to be that they could queue up, they could get in and play World vs. World whenever they wanted, they could get whole squads in, whole guilds in, etc. And now because they've been linked with the tier 1 World vs. World group server, that's not as easily possible anymore, especially on reset night when all the action is kind of popping and happening and everything. I will say that the tier 2 servers, tier 3 servers, etc., they've all said they really haven't had any issues and have been loving it. So, you know, those matches seem to be going pretty well. But unfortunately, like anything that gets matched with a tier 1 server, and they're not used to that kind of queuing, seems to be they're not overly happy with that system.
Same.
Same.
And you know, Nike's point here is that, you know, people don't know what they want. Is, you know, to paraphrase
Well,
it.
that's true everywhere.
Yes. No, I mean it's just true, you know. And that's not really a criticism of people, right? It's just sometimes you kind of think you want something, and then it actually arrives, and you go, oh well, that's not exactly what I had in mind. And that's not really an attack as such. It's just part of being alive, you know. Sometimes you don't actually want what you get, you know. It's but you know actually that actually reminds me of something. You know, the one thing this patch I'm going to complain about right now, I cannot leech Deroir anymore, or the Changaren nearly as well as I used to be able to.
I haven't been in any of the hot maps ever since the.
So I've been having a blast.
How you leech that map now?
You just AFK'd until Octovine, then tagged all 4 of them and got tokens.
Then you get 100%.
That's how we used to do it.
Yeah, but now I don't think it doesn't work, because now if all the Octovines are one thing on their own, and I think they give less participation as well. For example, I used to be able to easily get on the Garen 200% just by doing the event. Let everyone else run around and do the shitty ass events. Well, yeah, I would attempt to do that. It might actually be possible to do now if you just run.
I think it gives you 156 now for an Octovine.
But it's just
156 participation.
It's not quite enough.
Under 200.
Feels bad, man.
I mean, I just don't do any of them.
Maximum leeching efficiency ruined.
I should say that was doing the Octovine, and then killing the guy inside the whatever his name is. He has a chest when you first enter the underground.
Tarnished traitor. Yeah, traitor.
So doing those two things doing those two things, and one of the pre-events gave me 156%.
All right, that's not too far off. You only really need 100 ever in those maps.
It gives you the most keys, right? I think.
Yeah.
And you can get.
That's when it starts. 200. Anything above 100 is just to add onto the loot pile. Like you get special things at 200%, but there's no. I don't know. Like they added new loot things, new loot boxes that should actually be valuable, but I don't know what they are. But beforehand, it wasn't worth it at all to get 200%. You only ever needed 100.
You get a lot of loot for doing events now in the HOT maps. It's pretty insane, honestly, how much you get, because you'll get the green special bags or the yellow ones. The yellow ones more or less always get you a rare item, right?
The yellow ones are rare guarantee.
Wow,
Yeah,
rare.
Yeah, yeah, but that's not that bad.
That's an ecto.
Yeah,
That must mean that's why ectoplasms went up by 30 silver.
Well, no, that's because of Chaos Gloves.
Yeah.
Speculated Chaos Gloves, but it's gonna. But I'm
Which
just, guys, spoiler.
Be in the gem store.
Yeah, just spoiler, guys. It's gonna. You are aware it's gonna be gem store, right? I hope you
The
guys
last
are aware
you
of
are
that.
out of your mind
was a
if you don't
gem
think
store
it's
thing.
a gem
This is
store.
gonna be a gem store thing, and I'm gonna throw a bitch fit about it, like baby rage, just like fucking
Baby
shit.
rage.
Somebody linked the Chaos Gloves to me, and it was in that green gem store text with all the exactly how it looks like when it comes out of the gem store. And we don't have any inside info. It's not NDA or anything like that. We really have no idea, but it looks exactly like a gem store thing.
Yep.
It's a single skin. Everyone can wield it.
Yep.
It's gem store. I think everything's just shout.
Just sell your ectos while you can, because that price is probably going to go down again. When people
Someone said it was
realize-
even data mined that it's in the gem, that it's going to come from the gem store.
Oh, there you go then.
Really? Can we have a link on that?
If you
If
got
you have
one,
a link,
yep, link that shit.
probably from that
Um,
shaman, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, maybe there's some other reason ectos have gone up. Does anyone know? Is there any other reason that they used more now or something? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Legendary
the
back piece.
and the amalgamated gemstones as well. You put an ecto in them now. That's
25.
yes. 25 ectos.
No, 10.
10.
10?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Some.
I have no idea. I haven't tried.
It's 25 orbs, 25 3 different orbs or 3 sets of orbs, and then
Hey,
5
go
or 10
mine
ecto.
nodes and ore. You'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, if you go to the tree spots, you just see all the alts parked there, and it's just easy money. I understand that some people can. I don't know. I've been told that you can get something like a full stack of logs every hour or some shit. That's quite a lot.
And you get like mats that are exclusive to scribing that go for like 3 gold each from cutting down trees and ore.
Value.
Yeah, the wood things.
And if you're
Good.
really smart, where is it?
Fuck my back.
Mikey is also saying that he has heard that gold sellers are now selling ectos rather than gold. I could actually kind of see that because there's a gold cap, right? You can't. Not that I endorse it. Gold sellers are basically Satan, but I could see them doing that
But why? Why would they do that?
because
Why not?
you can't buy more than X amount of gold at a time now, right?
Oh yeah,
You have a weekly cap of 500
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, so send
You can
ectos
still send
instead.
1,000,000 ectos.
Yeah.
That makes
Maybe they
sense.
should do something.
The only
about
problem
that.
is like because it fluctuates, you might not actually be getting whatever those people are paying for.
Guild
Well,
Wars, ecto-based economy in Guild
I'm
Wars.
fine with that. I'm fine with people not getting what they pay for. That's
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully going to turn them off of it. I mean,
But obviously,
Yeah.
very good possibility you'll get banned for that, and as you should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Cleary's coming for you.
Yeah,
Sure.
he is.
He's gonna get you. Yeah.
He'll make a
guess there's
video
no-
of leading your character.
Yeah, there's no
It's
real way
spotlighted.
around that. Yeah, that was a great video actually.
If you really wanted to make investments, you would have purchased
Oh!
some of these.
53 minutes and 10 seconds.
These were under $5,
There
and now
it
they're
is.
like 20. 20.
400%.
These ones are gonna go up on May 6th. So there we
Hardboard
go.
money.
And then this motherfucker, when Stratos gets unbanned and you've got your ultra rare jump promo, that's gonna be like $50.
is that Magic the Gathering?
Yeah. Definitely.
You should apply that to Guild Wars 2, Brazil. Then you can sell the gold to other
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
Yes.
You know, there was a Reddit thread about DPS testing, and apparently myself, Nike, could comment on this too, since he's also a master market manipulator because of our build guides. That's why we make builds. We just manipulate the market.
You fucking role player, Brazil.
Manipulating those force sigils, you bastard, you.
Yeah, those force. It's a lot of money. And you know what?
Bursting
that
is still high, I
Ooh.
think. I think bursting is still like 6 gold in
You
its
know
shit.
what's sad? You can't salvage the weapons you get from the level 80 character boost.
Yeah, that's the most horrible thing.
Why?
You can't do anything.
I
with
haven't.
it.
I have actually kept them around because I want to see if you can use an upgrade extractor on them, but I kind of suspect you can't. I'm not sure
I
about
mean,
that.
where are you going
though.
to get the
I
upgrade
just threw
extractor
mine
from?
away. I don't even know what it had.
You're going to
want-
buy the upgrade
Yes.
extractor for its exorbitant price? It's still not, even though force sigils are worth like, what are they, 14 gold, 13 gold? It's still not worth it.
Nope. The upgrade extractor is, I mean, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The upgrade extractor is a fucking joke. Why does that even exist? It's 300 gems, isn't it? Is it 300 gems?
350, something like
Just-
that.
If it was permanent, that would be incredible, but that would obliterate everything.
But then it would
Yeah.
be 800 gems and not
Nah.
350.
I mean,
Yeah,
Even at 800, it's still a bargain.
It would
Yeah.
have to, I don't even know how many. It would have to be infinite gems. It would have to use gems every time you used it or some shit, honestly.
Oh shit.
Stack of ectos
Yeah.
every time.
it would be cool if they gave us one like that with legendary armor, but it only worked with the armor.
Only works with legendaries.
But the thing is, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it won't.
Because you use the legendaries for the skins anyway. So, I would say.
I'm really hoping, because you change armor stats, like, I would think you would change that more than weapon stats, although, I mean, like, changing your armor, your rune set is pretty much always probably going to change with that, depending on what you're doing. Like, if you go from condition damage to berserkers, I mean, realistically, even if you do that with a legendary weapon, your shit's changing. So I don't know. I don't know why there's not a system to change sigils and runes. Sigils, I hope there's going to be one of the runes. I don't think there will be, though. And that's just ridiculous. So
I mean,
maybe I'm
sigils-
killing my chickens before they hatch, but
Runes and sigils are interesting because a good deal of them are useless.
yeah.
Could basically just be taken out of the game and people wouldn't even notice, probably.
That's it. He's gone. He's had enough.
But that's a big market, right? So how do you
Yeah.
do that for legendary armor? I mean, you kind of eliminate the usefulness of legendary armor if you don't have a proper way to re-sigil or re-rune it every time, right? It gets expensive quick if you do.
Well,
It's a
I
shit
mean,
system.
I'm not sure it's that bad. Because to a certain extent, I mean, I know a good amount of people will have more ascended sets, and honestly, what's going to happen here is that you'll have one set where you use your legendary armor, and then if you always want to look legendary, you'll just transmute everything over, right? And if you think about the maximum amount of ascended sets you need, nah, that's not okay. Right, this isn't strictly true. Brazil, do not call me on this, okay? So,
What?
kind of, you want 6 ascended sets, right? So 1 of power and condi for each weight. I know that sometimes you need different runes for different shit. For example, on range.
No, I'm trying to think of how many I have. I think I have 8.
Yeah, you need more. For example, if you need Nightmare and Trapper runes for duration on Druid or some shit, then you need another one.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Not a big fan of that. Or what?
I talked to you about this extensively yesterday.
Yeah, but no. I mean, you need to get the duration.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with Vipers on Druid.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
No.
Alright.
I have 6 sets, 1 set for
The
each
end of that.
character. I'll just change runes when I have to, and change the armor, and it'll suck and it costs me money, but what am I gonna do?
Oh. Feels bad, man. You know what? Now that we have our DPS golems, which report every 20%,
Yeah.
now we sort of see a kind of vaguely accurate-ish kind of perspective on how good all the professions are. So what do you guys think about how the balance plays out with regards to DPS on things that don't move and you have all the buffs you want?
Tempest damage is way too high as usual, and Jagged Horrors are broken as hell. And
Which we already knew.
problem with that
That's about
is
it, yeah.
if you take the Jagged Horrors away from Reaper, the damage is abysmal. Like, it's bad. Like, Jagged Horrors are like, I don't know, almost 1,000 damage, like 1,000 bleed tick per Jagged Horror. So, like, if you have 5 of them, that's like almost 5,000 bleed. And whenever they go, like, it's, if you have a lot of them, basically, if you could just have 5 all the time, like, whatever, then, like, or just the damage got reintegrated from that extra 5, that'd be fine. Like, Reaper damage would be fine. But when you're dependent upon that and when it scales so high, like I was getting almost 50k DPS on a golem with 25. Actually, it would have been about 50k DPS because I had 2 bone fiends and a blood fiend out. So that was 3 jagged horrors I didn't have. And I was getting like 47.5k DPS or something. So 25 horrors, I mean, you're looking at like 50k DPS, whatever. Now, that's not always going to happen, obviously. Like, you're probably going to have, like, 10, 15 at the most. But, I don't know. It's ridiculous that Reaper's damage is so dependent on that. And that the condition damage just is almost double what power is because of that. So, I don't know.
I mean, but in any situation, unless the fight is insanely long, you'll never even get close to that.
Well, it's in raids.
But you're never gonna get 25 horrors.
No. You'll have like maybe 10, 15.
Yeah.
5.
So surely that's not really a problem. That's not really a problem there. And I think
the problem is that they're so dependent on them for damage. Like that's like I don't know, like 10 of them is like more than half of the necromancer's damage. Like your bleeds are noticeably less without the jagged horrors.
But I mean then. What about Mesmer? Most of Mesmer's DPS is quickness. They're more or less totally dependent on quickness. You know, the fucking DPS, they actually did a proper DPS thing. It doesn't do shit, right?
Yeah, it's like under 4k DPS on a vacuum rotation on... Well, no. If you're actually playing in a raid, you're probably going to do less than 4k DPS. If you're bad, you're probably going to do less than 2k, and you're probably not going to be putting out enough boons. But Necromancer doesn't do anything to help other people's damage. Mesmer is insane. So can you explain why you don't take Nightmare and Trapper on Connie Druid? Because that's the dumbest rune combination that has ever existed. I mean, I haven't looked at Druid specifically. I don't know.
Have you seen any of Boots' builds?
But no, I haven't. I don't really watch his videos.
I'm kidding.
Nightmare. I hate hearing about Nightmare and Trapper runes. I'm tired of hearing about that.
Why?
It's not good. It's not good. They're not good.
But
seems
sure,
alright.
No.
But then you'd lose 25% duration then.
Sure, and the bonus from Berserker runes and the power damage. Like, I don't know how far that would go for compensating for it. But, like, again, Druid, like, specific, but on, like, anything else, anything that has a duration trait, like a Reaper or something, like, there's, like... I'm gonna make a video on it because I don't want to talk about it too much. It's just stupid.
I definitely think there's an argument to be made there. If you have a duration trait, then I think the Berserker runes and the Nightmare Trapper combo is not necessary as such because you can just get 100% without it. But I think on Druid it's pretty good because otherwise you do lose quite a lot of duration because they have a damage trait but not a duration trait. So that's fine. I think with Necromancer, though, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with professions being better on different bosses. You know, I mean...
no, I don't either.
Because I feel like Necro on Sloth just completely trivializes the whole fight.
Yeah.
To a ridiculous degree. You know, the epidemic is insane on fights with ads. And yeah, you know, Tempest is quicker. There's pretty much no... The Tempest strategy is undoubtedly quicker because, you know... Tempest just kills everything instantly. You know, it's pretty insane with all the fresh air memes. But I think Necro is very safe, and that's kind of a problem with how the profession plays out. I think they're kind of scared of making Necro be super high reward and kind of easy, because not only does it has 20k health, the rotation is simple, and it does do something as well, because you've got transfusion. And you've got the lifesteal thingy, and you have epidemic. So there is a certain level of utility there. It's not as extreme as, you know, something like a Mesmer, but it does do something for your group, and they can, you know, really help you out. Transfusion can be ridiculously good sometimes, and you could argue, you know, Druid kind of does it better, but there is some utility to having Necromancers, and they're very consistent. You know, I mean, all you have to do is auto attack, press 2, press 3, job done, and you're gonna do decent damage, right? It's not gonna be a fuck you, Deroir.
If you're not trying, your damage is still going to be fine. If you're trying, your damage is going to be good. Assuming the Jagged Horrors, which again is a very big problem, I think. So,
Yeah.
Don't know.
As long as your healer can play, though, they're going to stay alive.
Yeah, which is that's Jagged Horrors being so much of your damage is a problem because it locks you into having death magic.
All right.
So,
what do you think about that, Deroir? You
I'm-
laughed.
No, I don't know. To a certain degree, I agree with you in that it locks certain class, or it locks the necromancer. But aren't most of the classes already locked in certain trade lines, anyways? Like, it's not like it's a standalone problem if we're talking about it in the grand
Sure.
scheme of all things considered. Um,
No,
the
it's
biggest
not.
to
And-
me the biggest problem I see with the Jagged Horrors is not necessarily that the damage is so dependent on it, because it is super um, dependent on I was going somewhere for a second. Anyways, my problem though I see with it is that in solo scenarios they take the aggro, and so every single fractal in the master tier can now be soloed on a necromancer, because the damage is insane, and because it doesn't take because all the Jagged Horrors take the aggro. You're never going to get hit.
And you can
The-
just use
the best-
Rise and become literally invulnerable to every damage.
Yeah, we quickly found that the best strategy for the seals now, like the arm seals on Cliffside, is to simply place a necromancer. There's nothing that's going to happen. Everyone is free to do their thing, and it's piss easy. My Trin, done. Easily. You can. All the Jagged Horrors are going to get hit anyways. Like, you don't even have to worry about that. It's just, I don't know. That's my problem with it. Not necessarily that it's dependent on it, but yeah.
There's always going to be stuff that's easier to do than others, right? In fact, I'm just going to deliberately trigger Brazil and say that PS Warrior, for example, very easy. Simply auto attack and 100 blades.
I have a whole other problem with that now. I have been looking at this a whole lot since the DPS Golem has come out. And having a beautiful, clean, 100% repeatable, nearly, rotation that, like, it looks good, it takes memorization and execution. I love rotations that are perfectly repeatable, that you can loop forever. And it does less damage than just spamming every single skill off cooldown, which is just so annoying. So, like, just use everything off cooldown, basically, on Warrior, is more than, like, actually doing a rotation that prioritizes what should ideally be your most damaging skills, like your 100 Blades and your Arc Divider and dodge rolling at particular times. So your endurance is coming up right when this is on a cooldown. And, like, it's just, I don't know. There's something really nice about that, I think. And then just seeing videos, which, again, I can go repeat. I can go get like 25k plus DPS on a target golem just by setting it to max size and using whirlwind through it. Like, but that doesn't have the same like finesse that actually memorizing a good rotation does, and that just irritates me a whole lot. I quit playing engineer when the old rotation that was 27 seconds long, that I spent like 8 hours working out, that was perfectly repeatable and beautiful. It didn't exist because they took away Fireforge Trigger, and that just pissed me off so much I stopped playing engineer. So I don't know.
Well, engineer is more about priority of skills available, right?
Yeah, it was that. It was literally.
Oh, it's not that anymore. Okay.
It was priority of skills available in a particular order that was 100% perfectly loopable every 27 seconds.
Right.
So now it's just prioritization of skills, and there's no particular, like, it doesn't match up perfectly. It's just like, whatever. Okay.
But I mean, where can we possibly go with this, though, right? Because we see that it's easy to do shit with Necro, and but then you do see skilled players. They're going around soloing Fractal 100 with NG and shit. That which is obviously a more difficult profession to execute correctly. It's ridiculously long. Meta battle rotation or whatever, very, very long, many skills. And what do you want to do though? Do you want to just make NG just way better than Necro or something? I mean, what do you want to go with there? I don't understand what do you want to happen? I
don't think I made that point at all.
But I mean, you find it frustrating that with doing shit kind of in a brain dead way rewards you, whereas thinking about it and getting a thinking about your rotation and executing it perfectly doesn't. So I mean, what do you want to change?
That was particular to Warrior. I don't really have any comments on Engineer now because I don't care about it. But like having a class that is more difficult to survive on and has, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Dagger, Warhorn, Tempest. I don't know how complex it is or how hard it is to get like 50k DPS on the Golem on that. Maybe it's easy. I really don't know. So I think things that are more difficult to play should probably ideally have more reward to them. But like, I don't know, I like patterns and looping things and having a lot of finesse behind what I'm doing. And it's just kind of really disappointing whenever just spam shit is more optimal. So,
Oh,
I don't know.
I understand that, but
Ellie's really not that complicated.
Ellie's easy. Yeah, especially stuff.
Yeah.
That probably the hardest part about Ellie is not suiciding, I guess. But the rotations are not that complicated.
Yeah, don't die.
Yeah, don't die. You have 11k health. Feels bad, man. But yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, some things are going to be way easier than other things, and I think it's not exactly correct to make the harder things better than the easy things. Even though you would.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying like change it, fix it now, ain't it? I hate the game. I was just saying it disappoints me.
I think that all Revenant should get a 70% damage boost just by pressing.
Revenant DPS is great. It's really good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it needs to be even better.
Yeah.
It needs to be 700% better.
Yeah, 700.
That's right. That's right.
Enough to get a trait disabled. Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was nothing wrong with that trait. They should have just left it the way it was. And
Seems
it worked perfectly.
good. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. Yeah. I like that trait. I like lifesteal in general. Lifesteal's the best mechanic. So yeah. Revenant lifesteal. Yeah, you get all the extra numbers, you know. It feels like it's way more powerful than it is. You know, you attack with a Necro and a million numbers appear. It's, oh wow, the power, the power! But then you realize they're just 30 damage, and that's not really anything. But yeah, Robo's claiming he's the new Rex. Yeah.
That's not something you want to be.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know.
He likes cheap spaghetti.
58k DPS on the 1 million golem with Elementalist Burst. That is, it's pretty crazy.
I know, that's the 1 million golem. Like, that's, let's quote our Lord and Savior Nemesis, that's Burst.
But it's DPS, but not for very long.
It is literal DPS. It is damage per second. But there is a difference between Burst and Sustain. That's why DJ Khaled can go nail hot chicks for 30 seconds and then he's just done. Because he's a fat whale just blubbering around in bed sheets.
Wow, alright.
Okay.
So we talked about this a little bit, Teapot, where that golem has like bigger hitbox than like everything else, right?
Yes, it does. I don't know anything that has a bigger hitbox than the giant golem. It has a massive hitbox, an insanely different massive hitbox. Bad people lives matter.
I'm just complimenting myself on how good that joke was.
Wow.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one. Do another joke. But yeah, well, you want to say that how I think that one of the Raid Wing 3 bosses is going to be a giant boss because the hitbox is so big.
Giant face.
Yes.
How giant? What?
It's the hitbox of the biggest.
Golem.
You know, the really big golem has a massive hitbox, way bigger than even stuff like Gorseville.
Lupicus.
Yeah. It's giant.
Is it bigger than Lupicus?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's bigger than Gorseville, though, right?
Yeah, it's really big. So why would it be there unless a raid bot? Unless your mom's hitbox is bigger. Fuck you.
Well, I would
got me, son. You got me.
I would think it would be there for the same reason that you can put every single buff in the game on you.
Just to show that you can get.
Just to say, look at this potential.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think that's kind of important for people to know, and I'm not sure that everybody does know that.
potential doesn't matter because you can have all the potential in the world and then you get expelled from high school twice and drop out of college and then it doesn't matter. So,
Wow, this just got real.
Yeah. Real talk with Brazil.
What?
Story time. Story time with Brazil.
execution is what matters.
Yeah.
That's what matters. Potential, fuck it.
We may have talked about this before, but what do you think about splitting some of these balance changes that we get? What do you think about splitting them for the game modes rather than the way it's currently done?
It probably needs to happen.
Don't we talk about that every single
Do
Sunday?
we? Yeah, but
we're
Deroir's
gonna-
not always here, so
We're gonna keep complaining about it until it happens. How about
That's
that?
right.
Brazil?
Has to happen.
It seems pretty good, right? But you know
it
what?
really it triggers the hell out of me when I see a change. When they make a change and I see this was made because of World vs. World. It's like, well, that's fantastic. I'm glad you changed my PvE skill for World vs. World.
Yeah,
However-
that makes absolutely no sense to me
However-
whatsoever.
There was one change in this patch that I was actually quite impressed by, and that was the change to Deathly Chill, okay? Because I actually thought this was quite smart, okay? No, yeah, you can say what you like about the implications for the Reaper, but if you think about it, it kind of does what it was supposed to do, you know? It didn't really affect PvE all that much. You get kind of similar damage with it, right? But it was targeted at PvP. And that it did what it does. It fixed. Well, I mean, I think some people basically said
It did what it does. They took a hammer
and
they
bashed Reaper.
smashed Necromancer with it in PvP.
Yeah.
And they said, "Fix. Enjoy
I mean,
the game mode, guys. Have a good day."
There's some people have informed me who play a lot of PvP that Reaper is gonna suffer quite a lot as a result of
Nemesis
this.
was complaining about
And not just
that
because
too.
of that change, but because of other changes they made as well. But
the amount of
like
chill they
taking
put out.
away almost all of its stability.
Stability is a big
honestly, that's probably one of the that's change really stings. Honestly, increased cooldown and reduced duration. That's absolute savagery. Honestly, that is
Nos is quitting for Druid. Well, I don't blame him.
That's honestly horrible. That's probably yeah.
I mean, he'll still be better at Necromancer than Ostrich Eggs.
I thought Ostrich Eggs played Engineer. No?
I mean,
don't know.
yeah, his big problem is that he quit.
Oh.
So, I don't know. He played Engineer, and I still used to just shit on him 1v1, so I don't know. I'll always bring that up because I'm hoping it gets back to him one day and then he makes a drama video about me. That's my goal.
Then you can use that to get views. To get views, Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. My entire goal on YouTube is just to make drama views. Can't you guys tell? Isn't it obvious? That's my master plan.
If I may take it back to the topic, then
Do it.
From the drama. Then
Save me.
I'm going to say boat as Inks. Like when it comes to the split thing, it annoys me when they say that they're doing something because of one mode. I agree with some of the changes, like Slick Shoes. Slick Shoes needed to be addressed in every single game mode.
Yes.
It was extremely overperforming everywhere. Then there are other things that I really, really do not see why it was changed and why it wasn't just like search and rescue for Druid. That is completely dead. Fuck that thing. I was like, I hadn't even seen that it was completely changed. Like they cut the range in half. It's now 600. I hadn't seen the change, and then I used it. And I was like, why did it fail? I'm on the spot. The dude is like right there. Why is it not working? And I tried it another time, and I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at it, and the range was 600. And I was like, I'm just unequipping this forever and not going back to it. But it was extremely overperforming in PvP because you could completely get people out of the situation in the middle of everything. And I've experienced that. It's very, very powerful. It was extremely powerful in PvP. But in PvE, it was genius. It wasn't overperforming in any way because of the cooldown anyways, but it was just good. It was good. You could use it. You could actually use a druid skill that wasn't just heal or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
We need this to happen. We need the split to happen someday. Or completely, that is my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I do agree. I think a split would be beneficial. But you know, you're gonna.
It's not just PvP and PvE anymore. World vs. World is now starting to leak its way in, like the Guardian nerfs were because World vs. World. So, and I understand in World vs. World how strong those skills are and why those nerfs were made, but was it really necessary for PvE? I don't know. I don't know that it was.
I don't know, Kevin.
I don't know, Kev.
Yeah. Wow. Is he here? I think he is here.
Who cares?
Oh no, he's not even here. He's not even going to realize that everyone just memed him. Oh well. All right. You know what? You think you play a lot of Revenant, Deroir, and so do you, Inks. So
Yes.
what do you guys think
Are
about?
you still using Unrelenting Assault?
Only in PvP.
Oh, okay.
What do you think
Do
about
you,
Revenant's
Do
DPS?
people exploit you in PvP? Whenever
What?
you
No.
Unrelenting Assault them, do they run up against a wall so you fall into it?
No, people don't know how to do that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah. So
Oh,
don't worry about that.
Don't tell them.
But you know, there's the dank version of that where you just do the portal play and teleport someone. That's hilarious. Yeah.
The thing about Revenant that annoys me the most is not necessarily the Unrelenting Assault and the fact that I never actually use it outside of PvP, which means for a couple of...
Which
well,
means I was
ever
right
since
when I was shit talking you like 3 months ago.
Well, yeah, but it was the initial...
Thanks.
I mean, things can change.
Sure.
They even changed when they... we even discussed it when they changed the duration of it and the hits on it. But I completely agree. It's not viable. I know that. But it's extremely useful in PvP. I'll just say that. That is a win kill. A win skill. Anyways, where I was going with this. Yeah. The fucking skill 2, fuck me. The precision strike.
Doesn't work.
Nope, it doesn't fucking work. And they're not fucking fixing it. They can't fucking seem to fix it, and it's pissing me off. Like, how can this be a problem? That bad? Like, the skill does not work unless you're standing inside the hitbox. You can't use it for jack shit in World vs. World either. You can't use it for jack shit in PvP because it's just gonna hit something else. And now they just, like, what do they even killed the range on it. Yeah, 450. Yeah, like that's gonna fix it.
Does it still just use random, like, terrible weapon strength when it calculates it?
Yes.
That too.
Yep. Still not fixed. Still investigating. I was really hoping for the April 19th patch that a lot of these Jalis hammers as well, another irritation of mine. Brazil and Teapot know when they raid with me, I constantly bitch about how the hammers shut off fucking all the time. I was really hoping the April 19th patch would, because they've been investigating and trying to, I guess, fix these things for quite a while. It's still in that list, which is, it's good to know that they're still looking at it, but I was really hoping the 19th would address a lot of that stuff, and it didn't address any of that, unfortunately.
No.
Hopefully that's...
I think the 19th patch
someday.
changed it changed a bunch of big things that affected a whole lot of people. Because, like, realistically, I even doubt that just random idiot dickhead. I'm saying that just as a term, not because people are dickheads. Just some random guy running around in a Heart of Thorns. I doubt he knows or even cares about, like, Precision Strike doing less weapon damage, or, like, he may not even be using Berserker's armor, and he may not even know what the skill does. Like, people don't care about that, but it's something that's relevant to us because, you know, we use it, and we do stuff with it, and we raid, and trying to fight Veil Guardian in a corner when the Jalis hammers keep turning off is a problem for us. But again, it's not like a majority or anything, but there are going to be Reddit threads about it because, you know, some people want to complain, and that's an outlet for it.
It's a little bit... There's not a lot of variety with Revenant either. Like, they just buffed a bunch of the healing skills. I guess, you know, I'm not the best at deciphering that sort of stuff. Time will tell, but I don't really think it made that big of a... I don't know. I don't really think it made that big of a difference.
Yeah.
They just didn't want the assassin to be that survivable, and I don't know.
That's kind of
There was nothing
understandable.
in this. There was nothing positive for Revenant in general. So I mean, there's not really much to comment on that.
Minor nerfs for PvE.
Yeah.
You got to
Nerfs in PvP.
soften the blow by.
They should
fixing
just
them.
revert it back to only having 3 trait lines.
Buffs to healing, but there's other problems with healing that still make it fairly useless and
Yeah,
unviable.
that's a good point. I have a reliable source that tells me that Ventari Revenant in PvP is actually pretty decent.
Wait, what? In PvP?
Yeah.
In PvP.
Yeah.
I've heard some people using it.
It's good in PvE too.
I don't know.
In PvE, I see the potential, but in PvP, is the instantaneous cast time really that effective in PvP
Well,
to make the change? Because
I don't do PvP, so I can't talk about it.
No, but it was more just to Teapot, I guess.
know.
Since
I was just
he-
making a joke. It's all right. You missed it.
well, I
I
don't
did.
know. I don't know. I mean, I haven't played a great deal of Revenant in PvP, but you can kind of see how it could be useful. There's a whole bunch of stuff that the Ventari has. They can bring to the table. It can do some good stuff.
Fuck me sideways.
I think it's pretty. I think a bit of a problem is that people run away from the tablet and think it's dangerous.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I struggle to see how it's actually competitive with like a power revenant in PvP, because that is extremely good if you know how to play it
That is
in
true.
PvP. This is talking from a guy who has a 77% win rate over this last season and on Revenant on a power
Wow,
build.
that was a really nice humble brag there. See, I've barely even played PvP this season, and I can still beat you.
Oh shit! Right,
See,
let's go right now.
I have balls about it. I
Yeah?
can just be direct.
Look, we're streaming right now. Let's go to the private arena. Let's get this shit going.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
wow.
You
Do
would
it.
actually beat me.
Oh.
No, but like
Rip.
I really struggle to see how the Ventari tablet should be that effective as a or the Ventari build in the entire grand scheme, as opposed to something else.
I know
Like
that
there's
people are,
much better
right.
choices.
I know that people are trying to get it to work and are trying right now to use it because of the buffs. I don't know. I still think power is going to end up being just a better choice at the end of the day.
Yep, I think I definitely agree with that. But you know, at the end of the day, just because something works doesn't necessarily mean it's good, right? Just because you can beat people with it doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I would kind of question the success rate that they're having right now as well. We'll find out soon enough. The next season should be
Starting
I don't
up pretty soon.
soon, yeah, soonish.
Then I can
For
play
the
enough
PvP
games to
side.
get to Legend again and then stop playing.
I just need diamond, then I have my back piece, and I will never play it for the rest of the seasons. It's good. It's fine.
There
Fuck
you go. Let's see. Wait,
I'm really
Jewel?
disappointed that I even have a little thing next to my name because I needed AC token, so I had to do PvP.
You could have done unranked. Could have done unranked.
I guess that's fair. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
You said you wanted to get to Legend as well. What happened to that,
Me?
Brazil? Yeah, you did.
I don't need to get to legend.
He is a legend.
I mean, there's two
Wow.
more seasons. There's two more seasons.
Wingman
Even if I
Deroir.
half-ass it,
Yeah.
get my back piece.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah,
That in of itself is a little problematic to me, but whatever. I'll get a free legendary back piece.
It won't be free.
Free-ish.
It's still going to cost you 1,000 gold, even though it was supposed to be. This is.
No, this is the cheapest one.
Let's make it exclusive. You got to do PvP. You got to be good for PvP to get it, and you got to pay a whole bunch of dumb shit money too. It's not skill.
Isn't it only the? I'm pretty sure you only need the gift of might and magic and fortune or whatever. Gift of fortune. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the rest is just PvP.
It's still a gold sink to a degree, though. Like
Yeah,
it
but
would
it's
be
the cheapest legendary in the entire game.
sure.
Even though they want to baseline all of it. I mean, cheapest, not in terms of time invested, because you still have, what is that, 45,
Sure. A lot of time.
at least 45 days of dailies to do, and
Yeah,
that's,
and like I'm mad about the raid back piece or the raid armor, the legendary armor, because like the provisioner tokens are stupid. I think did we talk about this at the start of the podcast?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm incredibly mad about that. Like I don't know.
But it's just
Full
a gold.
circle.
It's just more or less a gold sink, though, right?
Yeah.
At
the
end of the
provisioner
day-
tokens?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's a let's
What?
force people to do Heart of Thorns. And there's probably like some extra noble goal behind it because
I
we
mean-
want the really skilled raiders to go
Oh, it's a time
help
gate
out
as
the
well.
people. And
It's
the
a
just
raid, it's
common
just a
person
fucking
in the
time gate.
maps. I don't know. But
Here's how I've been going about with the provision of
hate
tokens.
time gating.
Here's how I've been going about it. I sort of there are like 3, 4, 5 daily outposts that are easily accessible, and I usually just when I log in, I went there and traded in whatever, got those 3, 4, 5, and I've done that ever since they introduced the provisioner tokens.
Yeah.
Till I got to 301 provisioner tokens, and then I just stopped. But
And
because
to be fair, we have how much? We still have quite a ways until you can complete the
Probably,
legendary armor anyway. Probably so.
we're probably not even gonna need it for the first fucking tier, so and the next one ever or whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
you guys have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Start doing it now. Do the easy ones.
Yeah.
I don't
They
know.
accumulate.
The next raid wing is probably a month away, maybe more. Month and
They
a
said
half.
June.
Month and a half.
Did they say June,
So-
July, or something like that?
So it's
That makes sense.
there is some
Do I have the
time.
Do I have the
There's-
timeline
there's-
a bit wrong?
There is some time yet. But yeah, if they can keep that release rate up, that's pretty good. These rates,
Less
I mean,
scary,
I
right?
think my biggest concern when it comes to the legendary armor is actually that when the third wing comes out, what if we can't actually make the legendary armor, but we can only make the precursor? That's what scares me the most because
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
that's
I'm
exactly
gonna
what
press-
happens with the fractal
I'm gonna
Bacchies.
press the start button. Then I'm gonna go to control panel and then to add or remove programs.
gonna uninstall the game.
Yeah.
Master says May or June for the raid. Yeah, so
Yeah, delete system 32.
a month or over. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty hype.
What do you like? How do you think they're going to stop you? So you do Raid Wing 3.
Yeah.
You do whatever you have to do for the collection to get the precursor or to get Act 1 or whatever the hell it is for the precursor. What do you think is going to stop you from completing the legendary armor?
What's going to stop me is if the all right, let's say we go for the same structure, legendary structure as the new legendary weapons where we have 4 collections. The first collection is get in, do stuff, experience whatever. This is what we're experiencing right now and what we're missing for the third wing. The next
Right.
wing is going to be or the next tier is going to be the gold sink. There's going to be a lot of shit that you're going to have to throw into this, but you will have the base armor. Once you've thrown a lot of gold in, there's going to be a third step, which is to craft a gift. And that can literally be anything. The problem is, if they don't have the content out for the third step, we can't progress that. And that's where it's going to stop. The same is going to go for the fourth step.
That would
If
make
they don't
people
have the
riot
content-
quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, we finished it. Yeah, all right. Next tier. We throw 1,000 gold at this fucking gold sink. And then the third tier, and we're like,
You need the next raid.
fuck no. Hell no. That's gonna be a bitch fit from everyone.
Yeah,
especially-
I think I know what you said because I was busy reading probably the most incredible comment I've ever seen on a forum. But did you say that you'd have to have more than one raid to get the legendary armor?
No.
I said that. What if the third tier of
Yeah.
the legendary collection would require content that is not in the game?
Yeah, it would be bad.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't play
Exactly.
anymore.
They said a long time ago it would be completable by the end of at least that precursor would be completable by the end of the raid. You won't need another raid for that. So that's
The
just
question
me being
is
a jerk.
it then going to be hot content that where all the raiders are gonna now go out into the maps and do whatever the fuck?
Yeah, I
Or
think
is
the
there gonna be
inside.
new things
5,000
inside.
5,000 of each map currency because they want you to play with them.
I'm sure it's gonna be
Suck
stuff. Like,
that.
I'm sure it's gonna be like a gift of shit. What's it called? Like a gift of the
Walk love.
yeah, all that
Gift of the
dumb
glove,
shit.
gift
It's
of
like
the boot.
500, however many tokens, like per armor. It's a gift of craftsmanship, and then one of the 500 token gifts per armor piece, like some ridiculous horse shit. And then you put it in with fucking 200 of each T6 mat and all the other nonsense, and then it's one piece of armor.
I fully think it's going to be like they said it would cost you about the same as a legendary weapon. I think they mean the new legendary weapons when it comes to price and value.
Probably.
I mean, someone in chat here said that they said that with the fractal back piece that we would be completable when people had the precursor. Speaking of that, if I may return to the subject of the fractal back piece, we now can make it, and it's fine. I'm happy. Blah blah blah. But the fact that it came out as a fourth collection just says so much about their process. They've scrapped so many systems trying to implement this back piece for it to just result in a fourth collection. What the actual fuck?
Don't
And
swear.
I fear that thing is gonna. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm talking to a guy from the Bible Belt. Oh, he's out. No, but like, I fear that that's exactly going to be the process that they're introducing with the raid, where they don't have a they don't have a clear cut plan for what they want to do and how you can. What is this? Why? Why?
Brazil loves Jesus.
Yeah.
It has a lot of dust on it.
I can imagine. Well, yeah.
Regardless of that, all that's being said, I'm still pretty excited to see what it, what it involves, what it's about, what it's going to look like. It's supposed to have some kind of animation or something when you enter combat. Like the back piece sort of has that.
Yeah, it has animation.
Right?
It has big bulgy eyes and little sparkles on its cheeks.
Kawaii?
Yeah.
I'm so scared that I'm just going to reskin the legendary armor. I'm so scared. I'm so scared that it's going to look so generic with everything else, and it's just going to have a few spikes here and there, and that's it. No, fuck no. I'm sorry.
Do you want it to match like the? I mean, I don't know that would necessarily make sense, but do you want it to match like the fractal back piece more?
What do you mean?
I hate the fractal back piece. It's stupid.
Brazil doesn't like it, but some people seem to like it.
Some people do like it.
The color and tone of the stones.
Sure, and there are some people that like Nicki Minaj and Kanye West. They just don't have any taste.
Well, am I concerned about the look of the legendary armor? Not really, no, because at the end of the day, if I don't like it, I just won't use it. I won't get it, because it's not going to make any difference in terms of convenience-wise. I'll probably craft it anyway, let's be honest here.
True. I mean,
and some
I
people
reskinned the
still
back
hate it.
piece as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use that.
I'm not a big fan of back items in Guild Wars 2 in general, so I'm kind of biased on this. I mean, I think the only one I would consider kind of pretty good is the fractal capacitor. That looks pretty cool in certain situations, but a lot of the fucking giant backpacks, just what the Sabbather back piece, what is that shit? Why is that even in the game?
I like that one.
Why do you like it? It's
because it's good.
It's shit.
It's a pack of napalm.
No,
You don't like setting people on fire and melting their skin off?
And this is why you should expect some people to be really upset when they see the fractal or the legendary armor.
See, exactly. We've already come across
If I still played engineer, I would have the Sab of the back piece and the Sab of the rifle on my engineer.
Yeah, I agree on NG. It definitely makes sense, especially with Boots' flamethrower build, right? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you do have to make the decision. Do you prioritize DPS or Fashion Wars? And at the end of the day, I think you would actually just auto-attack with Flamethrower on NG and have the Sabbath back piece. You'd be a complete, leech to your team, but it would be worth it. And think about it, Brazil. If you could continually attack, imagine the DPS you get, because as we all know, the number is the DPS, right?
Yeah.
So if you just continue to auto-attack with, say, Druid Staff, you can get to like 1 million DPS by the end of the fight, because the number just keeps on growing. Same with Flamethrower. 1 million DPS. If you get,
for fuck's sake.
yeah.
Brazil is actually a lefty. What does that mean?
What?
In what regard? For
Only for shitty NGs. I don't actually know what that means.
I'm ambidextrous. I do some things
Oh.
left-handed and some things right-handed. I
Yeah,
play
I'm-
drums left-handed. I
I'm
play
left-handed.
guitar right-handed.
There we go. Oh, add Sabbath's Flame Wall as a
I
skin.
play
That would be
flute
very interesting.
left-handed. Though.
How did they add her flame wall as a skin?
No, as a skill.
Skill.
So you just
Oh, it's a
use it and
skill.
everyone
Oh,
dies.
okay.
You go in place. You have to say burn, burn, and then you rotate around and everyone dies.
Just the spell and it's just necro.
Yep.
Turning.
Except
Get 'em.
instead of just shouting a frost shout, you have to set people on fire. It's kind of the opposite of the necro. Maybe they
Yep.
should just add that interaction. Look, they have the power. Look, the Matthias ice patches. If you flamethrower a necro, they just melt and just turn into a pool of water. They're rendered worthless.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yes. No.
Just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a good idea.
Just bring back the system. Okay, I think the new legendary armor will be themed with the envoys. Click on
What
this
are
shit.
those?
I don't know what that is. Oh,
You know what? I want
It was one.
Gil was one
Blue
with
Eyes White Dragon.
Shiro, the kind of fractals arrangement, if I recall
God.
correctly. And didn't they
I don't know.
then they kind of
The
fucked
problem
them
with
up
that is
at the end.
that like they don't have one of them don't even have a shirt on. So I mean, I don't
Where
know.
is it?
Huh?
Huh?
One of the what?
The envoys.
One of the envoys don't even have a shirt on. So
Good.
But I mean, they can take
There's-
they can take some artistic license.
Hey, I mean,
with
you've
it,
seen
right?
how much those like bootless boots go for. What are they called?
Oh yeah, invisible
The-
shoes.
The bare invisible shoes. Yeah, just invisible
Yeah.
armor.
I mean, in fairness, it is actually called the.
that's the
the
legendary
envoy
we've
armor.
been data mining for years now.
That's
the
right.
naked set, just completely
Yeah.
naked. That is the legendary.
Now, honestly, that would be such a good plot
Everyone
twist.
would
The
get
legendary armor is actually nothing. They scrapped it along with the extra weapons.
They
Oh.
did not. They did. They don't say that. They
They're
did
just
not.
gonna make it invisible. Oh, they can do kind of an Emperor's New Clothes. You know, only true raiders can see it. So all the people who think they're actual raiders just pretend they can see it. They go, "Yep, you can't see it. You're just a fucking scrub." Oh, that'd be so good. It'd be such a good troll. You know, Mike O'Brien, he should do that shit. Yeah,
He will not.
exactly. Maybe he should though. It would be funny. Can you imagine the reaction? It would be worth it. It would be really annoying, but it would be worth it to see people react to it, see how angry they are.
I can tell you what the reaction would be.
What would it be?
It would be about 3 threads that say, "This is stupid," and "I have no sense of humor." And then there would be that one thread that disagrees that says, "I think ArenaNet was right, and I have a sense of humor, and it was pretty good." And then, that one's going to have just a little bit less upvotes, but way more comments. Everyone in that's going to be saying, "Yeah, I agree, I think it was good." And then the other one's just going to be ranty tirade bullshit about how ArenaNet sucks and the game's dead. So
Sounds realistic.
that's what would happen.
But no, right now everyone's positive.
Mhm.
Positive about the game.
A good
Just
deal
give it a
more
minute.
positive.
Just wait.
Yeah.
That's
Give
sort
it
of
till
the
next
problem.
Tuesday when the
Oh.
Chaos Gloves are in the gym store.
Yeah.
Honestly-
It's a ticking time bomb. Regardless of however big this patch was, it's still content that has been in the game for a long time that's just been fixed, and it's a ticking time bomb as to when people will catch on to the fact that nothing new has happened, and we can get back to the rage.
Back to the
And-
rage.
I mean, anyone listening now, I just advise just take it slow, play whatever you like, don't be a dick. I mean, we don't need all the negativity.
Wrong.
No, right,
Be
right.
as mean as you want.
I mean,
I don't know. It's been a breath of fresh air to actually see people
Yeah.
going back and enjoying content again for me.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
But
really
there is going to
that bad.
be a big content drought. Like, we knew that it was. We're in for that.
Well,
I mean, and that's fine. People should just be easy and it's fine. Like, we can play other games while.
we wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or enjoy the new changes. I mean, yeah.
This always comes up, but I think probably the most pivotal moment that we're gonna soon experience in Guild Wars 2 history is gonna be Living World 3.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't deliver here, I mean, I don't even want to think about it honestly. The backlash is gonna be Pretty epic.
I gotta be honest. I don't think they're gonna deliver.
Even if they do, it won't live up to expectations. Are already too high.
Is it like Half-Life 3? It doesn't even matter how good the game is anymore. Or Fallout
Right.
4, in fairness, actually. You know,
It's-
I understand some people were disappointed because the hype was just too insane.
It's just like SWOTOR. The hype was so high for that game.
It couldn't
even if it was.
deliver.
I mean, there was a ton of problems with the game, but regardless of that, you could never deliver for the amount of hype that people had for it. You just can't. And Living Story 3 is already shaping up to be exactly that.
Yeah.
Somebody left a post that said, you know, it better win Emmy nominations and cure cancer and all this other crazy shit, right? And it's obviously it can't possibly.
And it's gonna do the opposite.
And it's going to be the exact same baseline of storytelling and content that we've seen so far. Maybe a little bit better here and there.
I think
But it's
I
not
just
going
hope
to be an
Timey's
Oscar.
not in it.
Huh?
I just hope Timey's not in it.
She will be.
Yeah, she will.
No, she's just in Rada Novas somewhere.
Yeah, but
You know, yeah, but we'll.
They were gonna go
visit
there.
on that.
The rocks collapsed and there was a disaster.
they can't actually have that though, because then the game is kind of. Are they even allowed to have that in the game?
What?
You know, killing children.
I hope
No.
so.
No.
But she's grown. I mean, she's now 2 years older.
I mean, think about how much time passed.
Okay. And they could even put in more time. They could say, yeah, some more years have passed for the story.
wow, that
Until
would be
she
so
grows
weird.
up.
No,
Unfortunately, until she grows up, she's perfectly safe and nothing really bad can happen to her.
You know what? Though I actually think that even though so if it's it doesn't live up to the inevitable, you know, the massive ass hype that's going to be around it. Okay, we're in that situation. I still think though that the rule of the silent majority would really kick into play here, because there will be some people going, oh, you know, this is bullshit. I was expecting so much more, and then there will be the people who say, well, you know, honestly, you know, I actually curbed my expectations because I'm not insane. And you know what? I'm pretty happy with this. Although there better be a lot of it. I mean, I don't know other way to put it. I mean, you've been working on this for a long time. This, you know,
Yeah.
There'd better be a good amount, you know? I mean...
Not just that, but we know we're getting story pieces. Even when this does start, it's going to be quarterly. So you're going to get a patch for Living World 3 that is for that quarter, but won't encompass that entire story, or is very unlikely to encompass entire season. Just wouldn't make sense. And then you're going to have to wait to the next quarter until you get more of it. So it's got to be much lengthier than, you know,
Heart
what
of Thorns?
others are used to. Well, Heart of Thorns in total, jeez. But even
Yeah.
for living world standards, it's got to be bigger than what people are used to.
Yep. I think so too. But I think, I don't know, once they get into the rhythm, if they can maintain the rhythm. Because right now we're desynchronized, you know, nothing's really happening. But surely once they get into the rhythm and they've kind of got all the wheels turning at once, I feel like there is going to be a pretty decent content flow, right?
Yeah,
Because
it could be.
the rate they're pumping out raids, I mean, surely that's not going to stop, right? There's no real particular reason, because it's not. I don't know. It is very difficult because we have no real idea of what's going on internally within ArenaNet. But I don't know. It seems like they have a lot of people working on other things, whereas the raid team seems to be relatively self-contained in on itself. So
guess.
I would expect that would keep going. And if they can keep pumping out this story quarterly, that's honestly not that bad if you think about it. In fact, it's excellent in my opinion, at least. You know.
They also have a Fractal team now as well. So
Yay.
Yeah.
One new fractal this year.
You know.
New Fractal's a little disappointing to me. But
You know what I think would make a really good fractal?
there's a lot of changes
honestly?
coming for that yet. As well.
Honestly, I think the destruction of Lion's Arch would make an incredible fractal, where you go in the drill and kill Scarlet.
Yeah, but how could they
Inks
make
would
that
just
into
love that.
into a boss fight though?
No, it's one of the bosses like the duo or something. You go in and you kill Scarlet.
The hologram, I guess you could do. That was kind of a fun fight. They
Sure.
could make
I'm
that.
not
into a
entirely sure if you're being sarcastic here or not.
I am being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said seriously 5 times.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that you're out of the realm of possibility.
I know.
They did say that whatever the new Fractal we're getting, sadly only one this year. I really hope they up that next year. They have to, right? But
They don't have to do anything anymore.
well, they don't have to. But I would hope.
Yeah.
Wrong word. But they did say it would be something familiar to players, and so yeah, that is certainly not out of the realm of possibility.
But we did kind of discuss this though last week. The fractal system is a great way to reintroduce the previous Living World content.
Or
Okay.
add backstory to raids for people that don't raid.
Yeah, you could also do that. And that's
What happened before the Spirit Veil?
And fractals are a good idea. They are a powerful system to do this with.
Sure.
And I mean, yeah, you know, we can be cynical and say, well, yeah, they deliberately leave it hanging there, and that's why it's such a good system, because they can always say they're going to add stuff. But I mean, I don't know. The 19th patch thingy was a lot of work. Okay, that's a lot of things that got changed and fixed. Okay, so if they've got that level of production going, maybe they can now apply that to, you know, finish up fixing all the crap. That there's, you know, obviously there's still some problems with the game, but there's always going to be problems with the game. To a certain extent, maybe then they can apply some of this productivity that they have managed to kind of mount in order to get this thing into the game. You know, what, 30 pages of patch notes, just a little over 30 pages.
Yeah, something like that.
That's an awful lot of stuff. So if they can leverage that into making new stuff. And fractals are the perfect system for that, for kind of giving a trickle of stuff to keep people satisfied while they wait for something else.
Like, the concept of fractals is one of my favorite things ever, because it's open to every possibility, basically.
Exactly.
Like, for content-wise.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Or, I mean...
I like it quite a bit.
I want to go to some area in the world and just go into it and fuck shit up. Like dungeons.
You mean like dungeons?
Oh, I thought you meant like a hot map or something.
No.
So
I hate Horde Thorns.
Do you think they should add more dungeons then? Seeing as dungeons are kind of back on the menu as with regards to
I think they should add Heart of
profitability?
Thorns dungeons that are like new. That are like not related to Mordrum.
Is there any reason
How does
why,
that work?
Is there any reason
I don't
why they
know.
can't do that though? Because I mean, dungeons are typically quite big, I suppose. You know, they are large maps a lot of the time. So I mean, obviously with the fractals are kind of bite-sized, and they've moved more towards that with the new system, with, you know, the way that you do one fractal. And a dungeon is, I mean, obviously, you know, you can speedrun dungeons and you can do them really, really fast. But if you play them, say, by killing everything in a dungeon, you kill the trash, you get to the boss, you do the mechanics and stuff. You know, it is more of a journey to get through it. And, you know, beat the whole thing, and that's quite a lot of stuff that needs to be done, right? As opposed to a fractal, which can be a little.
That's why I like
quicker.
fractals.
Yeah,
I like the bite-sized island content. I like it. I like that Guild Wars 2 raids don't have a lot of needless trash and nonsense that a lot of other MMOs make you suffer through, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm probably not the greatest cheerleader for.
It was really bizarre going back into dungeons and seeing mechanics that just literally don't exist in raids. Or
Like
the
trash.
other way around.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
I mean,
Like that, or like stealthing, or like just stuff. It's just weird.
I think in general, one of the best things that actually came with this patch was the revival of the 5-man content. I think that's been sorely needed, not just because of the rewards and like people wanting to do new stuff or whatnot. It's just getting people together in 5-man groups, like something that's not necessarily a Zerg, not necessarily a 10-man party, a raid or whatever. It's not necessarily that super serious. You can pug it. It's a great thing to have the 5-man content, not necessarily just in the fractal, but also for the dungeon. So I think one of the best things that actually came with it was the reward system for the 5-man content.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
That's on my top list, at least for this.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, having the 5-man content being so different is great. It's great to have variation, and there are a set of skills that, as Brazil says, you know, that do not appear in raids, that are prevalent within dungeons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to
That's
get
pretty
people
good.
together more than one day a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I think I don't know. Maybe it would be better if raids had some kind of reward for beating them again. I mean, yeah, you get the champion bags, but it's not going to come close to paying your food costs, right? Not even close. And to a certain extent, maybe if you just broke even. What do you guys think about that?
On in raids?
In raids, yeah. Because
I don't know why they don't just drop food.
I mean, I think
because they would drop peach pies or some nonsense.
Or like the
and
crafting,
be happy with
the
it.
cooking station at the like behind Sabbatha. Why aren't there like special recipes there that you just make raid food with like just raid tokens or shit? Put a vendor.
Only works in raid but lasts 2 hours or something.
Yeah, like upgrade your, I don't know, like buy a thing with a raid token and upgrade your food to last like 2 hours or an hour or some shit.
like the new provisioner thing in World vs. World, the permanent vendor that you can now have for World vs. World stuff. That's actually a really genius addition. They could add that to
Oh,
raids.
thanks. I'm a genius.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I think realistically, the problem with adding rewards, like genuine rewards, to doing raids daily or continuously doing it all the time, is that realistically, in the future, when they add more and more wings and more raids, people will get completely swamped. And
Right.
if it actually has a meaning, we're just going to get completely flooded within a week of all the things that we need to do all the time. We need to raid every day. We need to do all the dungeons. We need all the fractals. We need the hot maps. Then go to bed and redo it. Like, it's going to be too much at some point.
Yeah, eventually.
So, I mean, gating it off on a weekly basis for large content is better mentally for the player base, I guess.
Sure.
I do see the need for it, though. But, yeah.
I guess that's kind of the point of raids to an extent. You know, the big event. You know, the guild will attempt the raid, and then they will succeed or fail or both. Who knows?
Or both.
Yeah, or both. But I mean, do we have anything else to talk about? We've covered everything.
Pretty much it.
Except for the new PvP changes, but nobody cares about those anyway.
Ooh, you know, we
They changed
definitely
Skyhammer.
there definitely should be a big mention to probably. I don't know. I guess it could be argued this is the most important one. The Lord on faux fire has a downstate.
Yes.
So, you know, it's no longer... I think it's a great change, actually. I really like that change, because it is kind of annoying that if you, don't... If you rush the Lord and they kill it, there's nothing you can really do to stop it if they just manage to kill it. Whereas now it has a downstate, so you can stealth him, or you can teleport him away with search and rescue if you still use that. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, or you could even use the revive skills on him. Boom, glyph of renewal, feel the power.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing it in the next season, but till then, I really don't care. I'm not playing PvP unless there's a chance I might get the progress on the back piece.
What do you think about the changes to... I think that the jump pads and Skyhammer are still a problem. I think that'll
Is that
keep
buggy?
I
out of
honestly
ranked
haven't
play.
been here.
Because they're buggy?
They're buggy. They're slow. They don't really work that great. I guess that goes back to buggy. Yeah, there's just problems with them in general, and I don't think that... I think most players would kind of just avoid them if they were playing seriously on that map. I don't know. Jump pads, they're just too much of a problem for ranked play, I think.
I think maybe they just need to update it with new technology, because stuff like
Why don't
bouncing
they just put
mushrooms,
gliding in it?
bouncing mushrooms works pretty well, right? And then
Gliding in PvP, it's a new thing.
Yeah, gliding on Skyhammer.
Well, even bouncing mushrooms, there's that wasted time where you spin around for a second before it pops.
Yeah,
you
they
up.
could get rid of that though, just for purposes of PvP.
I hope if they got rid of that for PvP and they made that jump and stuff more smooth, maybe. But are you really gonna be using the jump pad, spending time in the air while somebody DPSs you down or follows you, or a Revenant uses unrelenting assault and you hit that jump pad and just follows you up, and you're dead midair? Or
That
something?
actually happens, doesn't it?
But
Yes.
wait, Inks.
Wow.
Now this is what you do, okay? You go on the jump pad as a Necro, spectral walk off the edge, except you kind of can't do that except on the Skyhammer, okay? And then you just teleport back after you fall, so the Revenant falls off. Boom, dead. Rip.
Well, you can also dodge midair.
Easy.
Or you can dodge going into it. That will kind of stop some of that. But anyway, it's just weird. It's buggy. Something needs to be done with it before it can actually see ranked play, in my opinion.
That's why it's in beta, right?
True. That's why it's in beta.
So is
see.
LFG.
That's true.
Actually,
Yeah,
not-
role playing. Oh, it's a thing. It's an
It is.
LFG thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the Fountain of Rurikton was till I opened that role playing tab.
And then you instantly joined. Couldn't get enough of the role playing.
Role playing.
Honestly, I understand people do enjoy role playing, but I hate to say this, but it's just gonna be trolls. I'm sorry, it's just gonna be at least 50% trolls.
And I can't unfortunately, and I have nothing against role players. Unfortunately, I don't think that ArenaNet is going to be able to back you up or stop the trolling or protect it in any way. So it just allows the trolls to find you more easily, unfortunately. Yeah. I actually haven't been watching it to see how much people actually use it. Be kind of interesting to see whether they actually use it or not. But
I think the best role playing I've seen was Helseth's role playing. Did you see that on stream?
Yeah. What was he
That's
role
the
playing?
best thing
Portaled the wrong way?
He role played as the other team?
No. He went out into the PvP world, the PvE world, and actually role played with some real role players. It was something. I'll send you a link afterwards. It was.
I don't want to see that.
It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Amazing content.
Well, there you go, riveting content. I'm actually sure that was actually pretty hilarious, honestly. But yeah, I'm not sure. Well, Rim's talking about how they need to kind of shake stuff up a bit more. I think there is some merit to that view for sure, definitely. But I think they're quite careful with changing things too much because they don't want to just obliterate people's comps, right? They don't want to. Oh, I got fucking Tyria'd out. That's annoying. Dance game. I'm still in the same place. So, all right. So if they completely broke a composition, then suddenly all these teams that are practicing for various competitions, they'd be that kind of sucks. So I think that's why they avoid changing it. But I don't know. Maybe more regular small tweaks is the way to go. But I mean, I'm not totally sure that shaking stuff up all the time is the best direction to go in with PvP, especially if they want to kind of go with the esports thing. To a certain extent, you want to have either gradual change or small changes and keep it in vaguely the same area. Otherwise, I think there'll be some problems with various competitive teams having to adapt at last minutes, and that's why obviously they don't change it mid-season as well, because that would just be a complete clusterfuck. They can't just break a build halfway through an esports session.
Yeah,
that would be silly.
Yeah. Break it, crush it.
Yeah. You think just break it? Fuck the PvP players. Oh well, that's a soundbite. Shouldn't have said that. Yep. Plenix will be listening. Yeah.
I thought he was a world player.
Oh no, he's basically recording everything, and he will use it in his meme videos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
okay,
I mean, yeah. If you said anything that can be taken out of context, it will appear.
God, I'd love it in my ass.
Yep. That will definitely happen. Oh wait, what is this? It's this. Okay.
What?
That's a good comic.
Yeah, just nothing. Yeah, all right. They need a PTR. I think a public test server would be really good. Yeah.
They're not going to.
Quite possibly.
They're not going to. They're not going to do a PTR. Not anytime soon, anyway. They really seem to be more focused on doing these live beta things. That technology seems to work fairly well for them, so that's kind of the way they go. The other thing too is they don't seem to want people to have access to a lot of the content ahead of time to prepare themselves like you would on a PTR.
Again, it is kind of our fault though. It's the community's fault this doesn't happen because they're kind of scared that people are just going to completely rip them to shreds based on what they see on the test server.
Who would do that? Who would do such a thing?
Everyone on Reddit.
Everyone. But it is quite well. I don't know. At the end of the day, it is a minority, and maybe they need to just acknowledge that and just do what they think is right. But then I don't know. Because I don't think it is that many people. I think most people are happy with the game. I would say I'm happy with the game. I'd say I'm very happy with the game, honestly. Would any of you guys say that you're actually discontent with the way the game is progressing right now?
Not necessarily.
I mean, for all the shit talking that we do, I mean, I certainly wouldn't say I'm not enjoying playing Guild Wars 2. I think that would be ridiculous.
No.
For me.
I'm definitely enjoying it more since the 19th.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
It's actually a funny thing. Like, I find myself, especially on patch days, I never actually go on Reddit. Not just like it's not a deliberate choice. I don't want to see other people's opinions. I'm just actually playing the game.
Right.
And so the people, the opinions that mostly appear on Reddit after I actually look at it is usually not after the 19th though, but usually they're all negative. While I'm just sitting here like, why can't I just play this? I like this.
I don't know. There's definitely a benefit to having people that are negative and having people that are extremely negative, because that forces people to keep some level of perspective. Like, I don't hate the game. I wouldn't have played the game for 9,500 hours if I hated it. I would have stopped a long time ago. But I'm also a very negative person. I just am, and I will talk about things that are negative a whole lot more than I'll talk about things that are positive. And there are people that are the other way around. Like Deroir will talk about, happy, nice things, and I just don't give a shit about that. I'll sit there and absorb it, but whatever. So I don't know.
All these rainbows.
Yeah.
Happiness and rainbows. You've been playing too much Super Adventure Box.
Yep. It's gone to my head.
Yeah. All those
he was
rainbow
done with that
clouds.
on day 2.
He was playing it. Yeah. Yeah.
You need to have an infantile mode for Reddit.
Yeah.
It's already in infantile mode.
Oh shit! Fucking shots fired. Yeah. But yeah. I'm amazed you managed to keep your sanity while you were doing that, man. That was pretty insane.
I barely did. I slept for 13 hours after that.
Really?
Well, I guess so.
13 hours.
How long
I
did you
just
go
woke up and
without
I was like,
sleeping?
fuck.
I'm just out of curiosity.
Huh?
How long did you go without sleep?
Not long. It took 36 hours to complete, but we had I slept for like 5 hours in between.
All right, that's still kind of weak.
Yeah, I know, right?
Weak.
I slept
Way
like
too much for me.
I think last week I slept from Monday to this like what's today, Sunday? Yeah, from
Yes,
like
today's Sunday.
the Monday before last to like this Tuesday. I think I slept about 30 hours.
Oh.
That's like 4 hours, just a bit over 4 hours then.
Yeah, but Monday to Wednesday I didn't sleep at all.
It's pretty hardcore, man.
That doesn't sound healthy.
No,
No.
it's not.
Nah.
I couldn't do anything about it. It's just awake.
I'm not very good at
I don't
staying
My
up.
time, I don't use
I'm
my time
not good at
efficiently
staying up.
though. When I stay up long periods like that, I eventually just give up and just veg and yeah.
Become a
nothing
vegetable.
Productive happens.
Uh,
Nothing productive happens. I don't complete SAB. I kind of just stare blankly at the wall. That's about it. I watch TeaTime over and over again. That's all I do.
There you
retention
go.
time, yo.
There you
That's
go.
right, yeah.
That's my.
I'm the one. I'm the
That-
one who
yeah.
keeps clicking on it.
all the views are just you on different accounts.
That's
Just,
me.
just
Yep.
scrolling through different IPs. He just view bots everything. I knew it. Yeah. Wow.
Jeez.
That. Oh, look at that. Wait for 30 hours to pass. Wake up. It's a good guide by Saihan on how to sleep for 30 hours. Oh, I'm not very good at staying up. I'm unbelievably bad at it, actually. I can't stay up for very long at all. It's quite sad.
I'm not good at it. It just happens occasionally where I just can't go to sleep. So that's what happens when you have bipolar disorder, where all you do is scream at walls. Apparently, that's what it is according to people on the internet.
So that's what you do when you aren't making videos?
Yeah, I just
Screaming
scream
at
at the wall.
Man.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Don't snort the white powder. Yeah.
God, did you guys see that guy on Twitch? I don't even know if this is a topic we should get into. The guy on Twitch who got a donation from someone who said a particular thing, and then he just railed on that guy.
Yeah, he completely destroyed. Yeah, we probably should not talk
probably
about
shouldn't
that.
talk about that.
I actually didn't see this. I have to go and look up
You'll have
this.
to tell me later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be on
I did
Prezi.
hear about the guy. I did hear about the Twitch streamer who accidentally showed he had something like, what was it, 70 G's in his PayPal, 40 G's, something like that. He had
Yeah,
a
no, that's
shitload of
not-
money sitting in his PayPal.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Just think of all the gift cards he could buy with that.
Best gift ever.
yeah, you got to get that filthy sellout money. You know, give me your money right now. There we go. Oh, it didn't work. Fuck.
God, give me more of it. I need to buy more Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, just give me the money. I will then transfer it to Brazil. He can invest it, and then in Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
cards, and we get that sweet
investment.
return. That sweet return. Then we spend it all on gems. That's how it works. So yeah, there you go. You're basically funding our gem habit. There we go. I saw that
Why
one.
not?
Habit.
I'm trying to buy a new car.
Buy a new car.
With
Because
the
when
Yu-Gi-Oh
you
cards?
no, well, yeah, but when you have a car with a 6-cylinder engine and only 2 cylinders work,
It's not. That's
Ouch.
that is suboptimal. I have to say. That's not
and,
good.
and when it just leaks oil and you have to literally fill it up with oil every time you put gas in it, it just pours out. That's pretty bad.
That
I had a truck years ago where it was a 6-cylinder. 2 of them broke. The pistons broke. And then I sold it to a car lot. I mean, they knew it was.
How much did you
screwed,
get?
But
Probably like
It was-
$300.
it was like 500.
300
so it
bucks.
wasn't a lot.
You can get something good for that, Brazil. Yeah.
How do we?
Oh,
do
just
that?
don't.
Like this?
Honestly, you're very. You should be happy that you don't know what we're talking about, Deroir. Honestly, you're honestly lucky that you don't know. I think Inks does know.
I'm gonna try to-
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Here, I'll fix it. So when you have one of these, yeah.
What? What?
Brazil is
No,
leaking
you do.
oil.
You do. Oh god.
He's not gay enough for us.
It's 30% minimum, right?
Speaking of
30%.
rainbows.
At minimum 30%.
It's me.
Jeez.
To
I
be
feel
on
like we took
Twitch.
a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
we need to kill this right now. Honestly, this needs to. Yeah. So alright, while I figure out someone to host, as our
Let's figure
splendid
out-
guest, fantastic to have you back, Deroir. Why don't you tell us all about what you're
Yeah,
about?
that's
Fantastic feedback, as
some people
always.
have that opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you too, Brazil. Big heart.
Oh, that's your mistake.
Yeah, wait, hi, I'm Deroir. You've been watching me for 2 hours alongside these other guys. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. And yeah, under the same name. Greatness.
Simple.
Speaking of
So watch
Deroir,
Mind Spike,
what the hell is
Yeah.
up with your new avatar?
My new avatar.
Yeah,
the circle.
it's all like swirly shit.
Yeah. It's cool.
Really? It's just
I
plain
think it's cool.
black and white. Why don't you like
Well, I
do
know.
something to it?
Well, I like it this way. I like it simple.
Oh, okay.
I don't want the rainbows all the time.
What
Well,
happened to
I-
the old
Why
one?
not just give it like a slight bevel? Just, press W and click the white part and then cut it out.
Because it's supposed to be simple.
It's
Supposed to be
Minimalistic.
I was
that
about to say,
minimalistic
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
on the stream right now, there's the white inside, but it is actually just the black thing. That's what I use put on everything else. So, I mean, the logo itself is just black on white, but
Sure.
it's just black.
I know that was like kind of the point.
Okay.
You know what I really like, actually? I really like your channel banner on your YouTube, actually.
Thank you.
What is that? Is it the same one it's always been?
No.
No, I changed.
No, it's
I changed
changed.
all of.
Oh, they changed
I
it?
got a hold of Mr. Eve Asperg.
Who the hell
And,
is that?
He's the guy who
He's,
did the Cantha thing. The Cantha thing.
Yeah.
You know,
What
the
the thing?
kind of panorama thingy online with Cantha and sound effects.
He's also done a number of the PvP teams, like logos and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was trying to get him to work on something for me.
He's super talented.
Busy
I
guy.
got a hold of him. And yeah, he changed everything. He changed everything. He changed all the art, that is.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I would strongly recommend you guys all go subscribe, follow, and follow again Deroir. Do it now. It's good for you. There's links below
Yes,
here
yes.
if you cannot be bothered to use Google. But, use Google. Or just simply type it into the URL bar. Depends how much of a Chrome or Firefox Pro you are. But yeah. How about you, Brazil? What are you?
Mad.
Permanently angry.
What are you?
Insane.
Gosh.
There's a lot of
Well,
adjectives.
what I identify as.
An attack helicopter? Or what?
No. I don't know. If you like seeing angry people with neck beards that make drama YouTube videos, apparently that's what I do now, I guess. Then, just search Keemstar on Google and you'll find me.
Alright. Yeah, actually he's Brazil Guild Wars 2. GW.
Yeah, I
find
am
him.
Brazil G. According to the official Guild Wars 2 Twitter, though, I'm still Brazil
Oh,
DT.
yeah, I saw that actually. Yeah, that's really funny. And I'll tell you a secret. You were actually still Brazil DNT
I know.
in my YouTube video descriptions for ages. I kind of forgot to change that. But don't worry,
No
I
one
changed it
checks
now.
those anyways, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's-
matter.
It's actually kind of true.
Nobody clicks on the descriptions.
Yeah.
No.
And last, and in the top right-hand corner, it is of course MMO Inks. And
I'm in the top right today.
You're doing a lot of streaming, right? Recently, so everyone should go follow you, right?
Trying to everywhere. You should go. Yeah, you should go follow me over on Twitch, and you should follow me on Twitter.
Vape Nation.
Vape
That's
Nation.
the other way. That's the wrong way around, isn't it?
And yeah,
That
it's
was
just MMO Inks.
Nate-vation.
What's the right way? How do you do that?
MMO Inks. That's on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So
Yep.
go, and I'm
Go
here as
hit that
well.
follow button.
Yep, I am here as well, and
Oinks.
I'm sure
It's me.
I'm sure I speak for everyone here when we can say that it's a great life choice to follow the stream. You
Totally.
become one of an increasing number. So if you think about it, the earlier on you follow, the more important you are. So beat all your friends to doing it right now. So yeah, there you go.
That
Follow
is
the
the
stream.
best description I've ever heard.
Go on
Become
YouTube.
one of an increasing number.